Now, we recording.
Yo, dude be like,
you
hey,
actually start the clock before the recording.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm improving every day, man. Improving every week, every day. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And what a week to be a Raider fan, man.
Right. Yeah, it's been a crazy week, man. Been a crazy week. You know, I'm man, it's kind of exciting, but at the same time, we'll get into it, man. We'll get into it.
You'll get into it, man.
Hey, you know, that betting stuff is crazy, man. Like, I bet you're going to sleep 8 hours and 8 minutes. I got the under on that one.
Like, I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, man. I'm sure, like, when Vegas is heaven for a lot of people as far as gambling and shit like that. That's just
definitely.
You got everything you need is there, man, when it comes to gambling. But that being said, don't forget to like the thumbs, clock in, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Here we go.
Let's go.
Great Pharaoh, the gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
And that's just do one thing and one thing only, win. And I want winners. Winners never stop working. Kick in the front door and let's get this bad boy rolling.
I got the contract, this is one of them hits now. Heard back from Earth, they just shot a few of my ships down. It's safe to say I'm totally pissed. Wow, my cloaking devices just malfunction. Guess it's time for a sit down. This is the problem I got with humans, mostly the common man. Constantly fucking with energy they don't understand. Always thinking they got the upper hand. The G-forces from my maneuvers can snap your spine like a rubber band. I shouldn't waste my time, they ain't half as nice. Put a Red Bull in your coffin so your ghost can have wings in the afterlife. Let's rock and roll like a belly dancer's rhinestone. It was my idea to shake the pineal gland like a pine cone. My thoughts create hurricanes, tornadoes, and cyclones. A punch for me is like an avalanche of granite and limestone. You live here, but now this is my home. I neuralize both your retinas, you wake up staring at the screen of your iPhone. Confused by the light plus the high tone. And now we connected from the microchip I placed next to your thigh bone. It's hard to understand cause you're mind blown, but I gotta cut communication. Your government just scrambled their spy drones.
That voice is speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history.
I can't explain it.
We back. Another edition of Around the Shield, man, with my guys, man. We got Mike, we got Severe, man, Big Mike Raider, the Severe Raider. Y'all already know what it is, man. PharoahNFL. We gonna have a great show, man. What a week to be a Raider fan. What a week, man. It's crazy week. We got a lot to talk about. Make sure to like the thumbs, click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification, man, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody coming through. Just make sure to, respectfully come in. You know how you respectfully come in by just tapping that like button. That's all y'all got to do, man. If y'all haven't subscribed, man, hey, man, y'all need to. Y'all need to do that as soon as possible. But what's going on with everybody, man? How's everybody doing, man? Outside of, the Raiders. We'll get into that in a second. But what's going on with you? Man,
I'm good. I'm ready to take the folks around the shield, man. We got a lot to talk about, but I'm good. Everything's good.
Cool, man. Severe, what's going on with you, man?
Oh man, same old, man. I'm good as well, man. Like you said, a lot going on. It's never a dull moment. When you're a Raider fan, it's never a dull moment. It's never just a regular season, right? It's the regular season, but it's never just a regular season. Always something interesting happening. Always.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. Nah, facts, man. It's almost like if there is no drama, then something that's weird. That's strange. You know what I mean? To be, as a Raider fan, like, and it's crazy too. Like, I don't know any other way. Just being a fan of the Raiders, like, so I got to talk to other fan base, like, hey, so how is it to be a normal team where we don't have to deal with any type of drama and things like that? But the NFL is an entertainment league at the end of the day, like, so. It's not just the Raiders, but the Raiders are pretty good at it when it comes to entertainment value and keeping it. Man, it's just like a movie, man. Like Davante Adams, obviously, earlier this week requested that he preferred to be traded, and from recent reports, he's already circled the teams that he wants to go to, leading, obviously starting with the Jets. We heard the Saints in there, Steelers, Bills, things like that. I think the main issue right now is like money, as far as what could stop teams from trading for him, especially teams that really need the receiver. I mean, the Chiefs, we're not trading with the Chiefs, man. I'm like right there, and then that's not going to happen. Let's stop it there. But people have said the Chiefs would like to get Davante, but money-wise, it wouldn't make sense for them unless like the Raiders paid, which would be like probably one of the worst trades. Like, imagine that, like, which we're not saying that's going to happen. I don't even want to speak into the existence, but the Raiders trading Davante to the Chiefs and paying a portion of his contract to make it happen, that'd be too wild. But that'd be enough to break a dude, bro. That'd be enough to break a dude, man. They can't do that to me, man. Please.
Bro, I started watching rugby or lacrosse or something, bro. I wouldn't be watching football no more, bro.
Man, hey, man,
that would that would just send you in a soul searching journey outside of
start reassessing things.
Man. Yeah,
what's the name of that game you was playing? Talking about, Mike, that you ain't never played in your life. I'll start playing that. What was it called?
Snooker. I ended up playing some snooker, bro.
I'll start playing.
Shout out to Martin, man. Yeah, give me some snooker lessons, bro. Yeah. We gonna be a pool shooting dude, man. I'm telling you, man. Like it's it definitely
following professional bowling. Professional bowler, my guy Pete Weber, bro. Professional.
Yeah,
bowler.
seriously.
Hey, so real quick though, like from some of the teams that I mentioned and some of the teams that I probably haven't mentioned, like what do you think would be a good fit for Davante Adams? And obviously the Raiders. Outside of, we all know we don't want the Raiders. We don't want Davante going to a divisional opponent like the Chiefs. Like that's we're not going to talk about that. But and obviously for the Raiders, it's going to be whoever gives us the best deal. But as far as what realistic trade that you can see happening, Mike?
Oh man, it's tough, man. Everybody's saying that, the obvious, the Jets, the Saints, things like that, because Davante wants to play with his buddies and all that other, nonsense or whatever. To be honest, bro, I really don't really care what Davante wants. I don't want to make him happy. As an organization, as a fan who has been duped by this guy. How many times did we defend this guy on this show? I mean, just be honest, right? Like, we came in here and really defended this man. Like, he wants to be here. All the reports that people were coming out and saying, he wants to get traded and things like that. And we were like, that's nonsense. You just hating, things like that. And we ended up getting tomato on our face. So I really don't care. Send his ass to Carolina. Send him to the Patriots. I'm cool with that. Send his ass to where he cannot succeed. And we get some draft compensation.
No, I hear you. I hear you, because at the end of the day, like, it's really what benefits the team, the Raiders, whoever gives them the best deal. I mean, if the Chiefs want Davante, I forgot, someone had a response like 13 first-round picks. Hey, that sounds good. I'll make that deal. Like, the Chiefs, y'all listening, y'all want Davante Adams, 13 first-round picks, and it will make sense. Make sense. For the next 13 years, we'll get your first-round picks. But
I'll say this. I'll say this, man. It's gonna be a hard time trying to contact the Raiders if I was the Chiefs. If I was like monitoring calls and I saw a Kansas City area code, I'm not answering that. You better find some secondary, third-dairy, fourth-dairy type of ways to get a reach of us. A carrier pigeon, a fax machine, a typewriter. You better find a way, because picking up a call from you guys, that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
And if that were to happen, that'd be the quickest way for Telesco to get fired. I think he would get the Josh McDaniels treatment out the door, as far as fans just screaming for his, dismissal and But hey, look, we're not even going to talk about that because we know that's not going to happen. Let's knock on wood. I mean, severe, like. Hopefully you can make this clear too, because we're not one of those fans who are saying that Davante is trash. Davante is a great receiver. It's just he's made it known to Raider Nation, to the Raiders, that he's not all in, and he wasn't all. And the crazy part, the part that I'm like kind of that got me was the fact wasn't bought in for a while now. Yeah. And for AP, who's preached, hey, we want guys who are Raiders, who are fully bought in, and this guy is in the building, and hey, if we're being honest, he was part of the business decisions, if we're being honest. I think that's why he missed the game, because he made comments saying that he could, in that, if y'all paid attention to that K Adams show the other day, he made comments basically implying that he could have played last game, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Severe, I mean, can you speak to that, like how we don't feel like Davante is, because I think there's a certain portion of fans, when a player leaves, they're like, oh, he's trash and this, that, and third. No, Davante's a great player, and it's gonna hurt not having him on the field, because one game of success or semi-success against the Cleveland Browns is not. Teams are gonna figure out real quick what the Raiders are gonna do, and the Raiders are gonna have to adjust to that life after Davante. And could you speak to that and what the I mean, well, I guess we can wait on that, but I mean, we'll talk about it. What can the offense look like without Davante, and what the types of trade compensation too that we can get from him as well?
Yeah. So first of all, Davante is still a top 5 receiver in the league, right? He's still a top 5 receiver in the league.
Yeah.
No question about that. Like even with the drops this year, he's still one of them ones, right? So, um, we not on here like doing that nonsense where we try to say he's not good anymore or he's trash because we're scorned or you get emotional. Like, nah, we here to talk football. And in terms of football, he's still one of the best receivers in the league. So, let's just get that out of the way first. Just in terms of trade conversation, man, it's going to be tough just because um, even though I think he still has this year and next year left on the deal. There's no guaranteed money left on this deal, so wherever he goes to, they're going to have to rework his contract because he's not going to play without any guaranteed money. Then there's the whole issue of how much of the money are the Raiders going to pick up, and all that stuff. So we're going to have to weave a particular path to try to execute a trade because the team's going to need cap space. Some of the teams are interested, like the Saints. They don't really have any cap space. So if they want to make a move, they're going to have to kind of get creative in terms of salary cap. So,
which they're good at.
I mean, the team, yeah, which they're good at. They are good at. I mean, people really don't mess with Mickey Loomis, but Mickey Loomis is good at that because every year these fools is like damn near over the cap, and they always figure out a way to get under it. So, I prefer not to send him to the Saints or to the Jets because I know that's where he wants to go. If we're getting Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson back, I'd consider that. I consider that because those are young wide receivers, young dynamic receivers. They're not on Davante's level, of course, but you still add another weapon into your offense. And another place I'll be looking at is the Eagles, right? They got AJ Brown, they got Devontae Smith. They're probably not giving up AJ Brown, but there's a possibility maybe we can get Devontae Smith out of him. He's another young guy. I know they want some more like polished, seasoned weapons up there, so that's the team I'd look at. But it's going to be hard to get compensation for him just because he's on the wrong side of 30. He's going to want more money, and then just his past volatility, right? He forced his way out of Green Bay because he wanted to come to Las Vegas. Now he's forcing his way out of Las Vegas because he doesn't want to play with the quarterbacks we have here. So it's going to be kind of difficult to find him a proper landing spot.
Hey, I'm going to say this too, man, because I know you guys are like kind of on we don't want to send him to where he wants to go. I'm more like, who can give us the best deal? Outside of, I preferably don't want him in the same conference and in the same division, for, obviously competitive reasons. We don't want to play Davante and him have a great – I don't want to see that. No one wants to ever see that. So if the Saints want him, he's in the NFC. We ain't got to see him. Like, I don't care. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We got to see him this year, though.
Yeah.
We do. But at one game, you know what I mean? One game, and I don't care. If the Saints want to give us a first or second and a good player or even a third and Chris Olave, I'll take that. I would take that. And I would definitely take – I've been talking about this, Garrett Wilson, because Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers right now, they have kind of bumped heads at times, and also their chemistry ain't right. So that's something to keep an eye on, like, because if the Jets were a greatly run franchise, they would never make a trade with trading away Garrett Wilson. But the Jets are like the dysfunctional team on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And they're all in. They're all in on winning right now. And Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers like, hey, I'll play for the next 3 years, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And they package a draft a compensation which would include a second round pick or even a third round pick, and Garrett Wilson. I'll take that any day, because Garrett Wilson's on a rookie deal and he's probably one of the best young receivers in the NFL. Like, he's not at the top, based off production, but we all see the talent in Garrett Wilson. Like perfect deal for the Raiders because they're kind of, I don't want to say, if we're being honest, they're kind of semi in a rebuild mode. A little bit of rebuild. They're saying they want to win, but if you're gonna, when you trade away Davante Adams, you're kind of saying that you're gonna blow up the offense a little bit, like because he's the guy that led the offense. He's that veteran, and now you're gonna go younger. You know what I mean? And you're gonna go cheaper. And they started it in the draft by getting JPJ. I'm sure next offseason they're probably gonna do the same. Maybe add some more young pieces in the draft again. I mean, Mike, what do you think? Where do you think the direction of the Raiders is at this point with Davante being traded?
I truly believe in an addition by subtraction. Like, we've heard that before, and you see the Bills, they improved their offense minus a Diggs. Diggs is gone, but their offense looks better than ever minus this past game against the Ravens. But the offense is improved without him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to jump out the window with the Raiders saying that we're going to be an improved offense, but we've seen it, in that Browns game that it was, things were distributed a little bit differently. They were a little bit more creative. Maybe, that pressure on Gardner Minshew, whoever the quarterback is kind of lifted off of him from not having to worry about getting Davante Adams, these amount of touches and this and that, and kind of forcing the ball to him or we don't know how Davante Adams is in the huddle. Maybe he's like, get the ball to me. I don't care. Throw it to me. I don't care. Hey, I could take this dude. That's if you're dealing with another battle within the battle, that could also be a problem for a quarterback. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is, but we don't know. We don't know if that was a problem or not. We were saying the same thing last year or 2 years ago when Davante Adams just got here and Derek Carr was really trying his hardest to kind of force him the ball. He threw 3 interceptions that first game, with Davante Adams against the Chargers. So, maybe it's one of those things where quarterbacks who are not at the Aaron Rodgers level are like, dang, like, hey, I got to get Davante Adams the ball. You know what I mean? And in that situation, maybe Aaron Rodgers is the only guy that can kind of work with him, and get him the rock in the way that he wants the ball. And if that means we got to send him to the Jets and the Jets really want him, maybe that is the best compensation because, like you said, they're in win now mode. We know that's a bunch of BS, but they're in win now mode. And, maybe they feel like they're Davante Adams away. So if that's the case, go ahead and send us that first real quick. If that's really how you feel about it, go ahead and send us the first. Yeah. And whatever else you need, whatever else to kind of square it up, and then let's move on. That's how I feel about it.
I think it could possibly happen because we might not get a second round pick. I'm not sure if we're able to do that. Possibly, who knows? But I think the Jets right now, are they run by Joe Douglas, the GM, or does Aaron Rodgers have a lot more pull in that franchise right now? If you think of that from if you think about it from that perspective, because I think low key they're that coaching staff and that front office is on a hot seat this year.
Yeah, but the thing is that Aaron Rodgers, have you ever heard the saying, like, as soon as you drive a new car off the lot, you lose like $8,000 in value. As soon as the Jets saw Aaron Rodgers playing, his control over that franchise diminished greatly. The thought of Aaron Rodgers and what he can be with the Jets was greater than what we're seeing actually Aaron Rodgers do. So, especially right now, Aaron Rodgers really hasn't been playing his best ball. He ain't playing bad. He ain't necessarily been playing his best ball. So they thought they were getting Aaron Rodgers, like Green Bay, back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers. And now they just getting like regular ass, Aaron Rodgers, like this generic off-brand version of Aaron Rodgers. Right. So
back end of his career, Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. They're getting Brett Favre with the Jets or Brett Favre with Minnesota, right? They're not getting Green Bay Brett Favre, even though he has some solid years at the end of his career, but they're not getting like the Brett Favre, like, that John Madden would get a hard on every time he watched him play. Right. Like, they're not getting that guy. So I think his value, he doesn't have that much control. And think about Davante, much too, like what Mike was saying, it's addition by subtraction for 2 reasons. Obviously, the guy didn't want to be here. He wasn't bought in. But if we can move him either for draft capital or for a younger player, that would fit in much better with our timeline, right? If you look at all of our players, they're all right in that range. Kuntz, he's 26. Max is 27. Wilkins is about to be 29. Jacoby's about to be 28. Colton's about to be 29. Like, all these guys are on the other side of 30, and we still got some years with them, right? Same thing with Nate Hobbs. Same thing with Jack. Same thing with Jacorian. All these guys are fairly young. So if we can flip that and get a guy that's younger that fits in better with this timeline, then this team can really gel. And cheaper, this team could really gel and grow together and turn into a winning team. And we ain't and especially if it's a guy we draft, because then it's not like a mercenary where the guy came here expecting something from us. Like, it's a guy that we drafted and we built and we brought him up in this culture. And so I think that's a much better situation.
And then we also got to say this. We also got to say this too. Let's be real, man. Davante and the Raiders are not a good fit. Like, now that we know that he's leaving, can we be honest, y'all? Like, if anybody watching, like, Davante Adams is not a good fit with the Raiders. There's no quarterback. We don't have a quarterback that's going to get him the ball consistently. He obviously, we talked about his age. He's still going to be a good receiver. I think he still has some years left, but I'm sure he's thinking, who's going to give me the best chance to win a Super Bowl and also get me the ball? And now the Raiders, the last few seasons, have not done a good job to do that. And from what we heard with reports, you already know, man, like, he's been wanting to leave for a while now. So it just wasn't a good fit. And hopefully the Raiders can get some compensation. I'm hoping they get, if they can get a second or first round pick. I know first round pick is like dreaming, but a second round pick, bro, would be huge, because especially when trying to trade up to get that quarterback of the future.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what's crazy about this whole thing is that if this news didn't come out this week about Davante, you look over on the other side with the Jets. If I didn't know any better, I would say that they'd be ready to kind of get rid of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Like, it ain't the grass ain't green on the other side. Like, it's not, and even a Davante Adams going over there isn't going to solve that problem over there. That's just the truth of the matter. So,
but the reason why I bring up that point is because when people's job is on the line, they will do anything to keep it. They're going to try because everything, like the head coach and that GM, everything is tied to the success of Aaron Rodgers. So how do they make it successful? Oh, you're having chemistry issues with Garrett Wilson? Who's a guy that you have a lot of chemistry with that y'all could just pick up and just play ball? Davante Adams comes into the room, and I'm just saying they'll be, if it means that they'll get another year or whatever, and it gives them a chance that keep their jobs longer. I think the Jets might be motivated to make that deal happen, but we'll see, man. There's plenty of time too. That's why, like, a lot of people are saying that the Raiders don't really have a lot of leverage. I'm like, I don't know. The trade deadline,
they got all the leverage.
Well, you know what it is too, is that Davante won't sign. He has to sign a long-term deal. Yeah. So there's that. I mean, if Davante says, I'm not going to sign a long-term deal,
to be honest, nobody has leverage. Davante doesn't definitely not have the leverage. The Raiders, it's not advantageous for them to get rid of him. Yeah. So what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Yeah. What would be advantageous if this news didn't come out, is what I was getting at. We would be trading to get Aaron Rodgers. And that's definitely not going to happen. But the Jets are struggling over there. Aaron Rodgers looks miserable over there. Nobody's talking about how miserable, Aaron Rodgers is, and nobody's talking about how miserable, how they're ruining a Hall of Fame career over in New York. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, nobody's talking about that. But everybody's talking about how we're ruining a Hall of Fame career with Davante Adams.
Yeah.
True.
I just find it, like, hypocritical that, it's one side, that only Davante Adams is suffering, but Aaron Rodgers over in New York, he's not. He's going through probably worse, because that defense is Super Bowl caliber over there in New York.
Yeah.
And you would think that the offense would be clicking on all cylinders, especially you got, a guy like Aaron Rodgers and a wide receiver like Garrett Wilson who showed that he could be elite sometimes. So
guess who their OC is? Nathaniel Hackett.
Is it Hackett? If I say, is it Hackett?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, See, but that's a Davante. See, Davante learned from the best. because Davante brought in this guy Luke Getsy, and then same thing Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers brought in this guy, Nathaniel Hackett over there. So that's why he has that job. It's because of A-Rod.
And you know what? That's even more like.
Because
Sorry, bro.
A-Rod
I
wants-
meant to cut you off.
No,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Man, bro, like that's the most frustrating thing about this thing is that Davante Adams even got his guy in here. Nobody wanted Getsy in here except for him.
Yeah.
That was his guy. And now he's turning around and saying he don't want to be here. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's not advantageous for either side for him to get out of here. It's more advantageous to bring an addition to make him happy. But he's already said he wants out. So I don't know, man.
I'm gonna play the other side to it, because everybody, obviously we're all like frustrated with Davante Adams.
But before you do that, Pharaoh, I just wanted to speak on the leverage part real quick. So
Go
I
ahead,
think
go
I know
ahead.
the only team where we may have some possible leverage with is with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, because like both of you guys kind of stated, like everybody's kind of all in the situation, right?
Yep.
And it's a short term thing.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers ain't playing for no long time. He has this year, next year, maybe another year after that. So they're not good. So they shouldn't be expecting to try to sign Davante to a long term deal. Davante's 32 years old. I'm sure they don't want him 35 years old trying to come up with no young quarterback anyway. So they're kind of in a push all the chips to the middle of the table right now. Let's make it happen right now. So that's the only team where we may be able to extract a little bit of leverage out of. But even with that, we need some other bidders there at the table, because if they're the only show in town, then it's just a stare down at that point. It's like we're playing chicken and seeing who blinks first.
I think there's other teams. I think other teams are interested in Davante Adams. People I think there's other teams, just because look around the league, a lot of teams would want a number one receiver, and Davante Adams is not just a receiver where you could say, oh, he's clearly slowing down. It's not like a situation like Dez Bryant, where Dez Bryant's like prime was real short, but with Davante, his game is whole lot different. It's a lot of it has to do with skill. I mean, there's a level of like quickness and explosiveness too with Davante. But I was gonna say, like, just to play the other side to it is a lot. We should also look at the Raiders too. There's a little bit of the Raiders here that's all at fault. And I think
more than a little bit.
A lot. Because if Davante was from the previous regime, if we're being honest, it didn't work out. He came here because of Derek Carr. We all know that. It's well documented. They said it. We all know that, right? And based off the reports, I think Severe, we were talking about this earlier, like as soon as they found out that Davante team went up to the Raiders and said and threw an idea of a change of scenery, he should have been out of there. The Raiders should have just been on the phones and looking for the best deal possible for Davante because at that point that this guy is not all in. So which to bring it back full circle to when you guys talked about Luke Getsy, like if this is a guy who his representation went up to you and said and basically implied that he wanted to get traded, why would you even take his consideration into who the OC should be? You should take into consideration what type of team that you want. And I think maybe that's probably the frustration of AP, because you could tell he's mad about that whole like Davante situation. You could see it. For him to like a post of Davante playing his last snap as a Raider, for him to like that, you know how mad you got to be, because everybody's going to be watching what Antonio Pierce is doing. He's the head coach of the Raiders. Like for him to do that, he's for sure mad. Even when they were asking him questions about the whole situation, like you could tell, like he's heated about it.
You can say, F Davante. You could tell that it was a problem. But this stems back to that preseason game, and we called it here. We called it here. Hey, there seems to be a rift between the two. We said it. You can't you got a coach saying one thing and you got a player saying another thing, and hey, it seemed like Davante made a business decision in that situation. Yeah, it really does. You know, he missed a hell of a lot of training camp. He missed a lot.
Yeah.
Now I understand he had a kid. He had a kid, but you know,
he missed.
Shout out to Elite. She said it yesterday. You know, from a man's perspective, yeah, you there for a few days. You know what I mean? But you're going back to work. You're going back to work shortly after that.
Exactly, bro.
Especially, and just put in this perspective, like if you felt like your team is in a position to win now, you know, you're gonna kiss the baby, kiss the wife. I gotta go. We got a title to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But what did he do? He took an extra week off. You know, he didn't. You know, his priority wasn't the Raiders.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. He took 2 weeks off. So, hey, you know, the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall, and we called that. I mean, there was a rift there, you know, and a lot of people were like, oh, well, you know, maybe there was an injury. I don't think so. I don't even think there's an injury now. So, you know, this guy was making business decisions from the jump, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Nah, facts. And then Vic Tafur has a great article in The Athletic, and he talks about some of the stuff that was transpiring with Davante, where it was rubbing not only the organization the wrong way, but teammates the wrong way as well. They brought up the receiver documentary, how, you know, vocal, you know, basically Davante Adams was when he talked about the part he played in getting Jimmy Garoppolo benched. They didn't feel that he handled that the right way, and it wasn't necessarily about the team. It was a Davante thing, and they also brought up the whole missing time for the baby, right? Like the team was under the impression, and his teammates was under the impression it'd be, you know, a few days and he'd be back, and he ended up taking like, you know, 10 days or 10 practice days off. So, you know, that was kind of rubbing people the wrong way as well. And like I said, man, like the Raiders. They were some Simpson in this situation, man. You know, it's like if you're dealing with a girl and she said, you know, I don't think this is gonna work out. I don't know what direction we going in. You say, okay, cool. Hey, man, it was nice. It was fun. I'm glad. But instead, what did they do? Oh, baby, let me take you on. I can do better, baby. I'm gonna take you on this trip. Now I'm gonna buy you this purse. You know what you want to? You know, hey, you know, I'm gonna bring you flowers up to work. Like, nah, bro. She don't want you. So just move the hell on. Don't try to convince her. And that's what we tried to do. We hired Luke Getsy. That's a Louis Vuitton right there. Like, no, that ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this too, because like, you know, AP seems like a guy like he's pretty straightforward. Like as soon as someone says that he's not all in, he's like, all right, peace, get out of here. Yeah. But I think the other day when they asked the indirect question but direct question, when he said, when it comes to trading a player, Davante, whoever might be a person that they trade, who is part of that decision-making process? And he says, he named himself, Telesco, and Mark Davis. Yeah. So this is where Mark Davis comes in and is like, oh, hey, Davante, come on, we need to sell tickets.
Davante's the one.
Quite possibly.
I'm just throwing it out there,
Mark
man.
Davis is the one, man. Mark Davis.
Now, real talk.
I'm just saying, man. Come on, don't leave, Davante. We'll you know what I mean? He's trying to make everything right, you know. He's trying to make everything, you know. But I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because once I heard Mark Davis is part of decision making and making a football decision, then it's like, damn, man, you're just.
It's because that's tough because because anytime you make a that kind of move with the financial implications it's going to have on the organization, like you got to talk to the guy that signs it. He's signing everybody checks, so you know you gotta at least, you know, like he doesn't necessarily have to be like the person that's accountable or the person that's making the moves, but he has to be informed, right? You know, like it's like you know, in my line of work, we call there's something called like a RACI, right? There's the R, you know, there's the A if you're accountable, there's the C if you're a cooperator, or there's the I if you're just informed. And he has to be that I. He has to be informed because if you do something like that without letting him know, you about to get a call to the office.
That's true. That's fair because he owns the team at the end of the day. Like he wants to be informed. I I just hope that he just wasn't part of like, nah, I think Davante, we can make it work, you know? Like, I think we can.
I can see him doing that though. That's what's I can see him doing that though. That's what's like.
Stop,
I can see him doing that. Like,
let the big dogs make that decision. Make Telesco, who you know that you brought in because he was experienced, and AP, who's a former player, make that decision because you know. But I don't want to throw it out there like it happens. But we've seen it, we've heard it. You know, Mark has done things where he basically is letting you know that he is making football decisions while in the same breath say, oh, I'm not a guy that's a football guy. You guys know that. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, that don't make any sense. But hey, man, we don't
Mark got two sides to him though, because Mark, he didn't have no problem getting Derek Carr up out of here. He got rid of Josh McDaniels while his kids was trick or treating and shit. So like, no. But
the thing is though, that's the thing though. Mark, he's kind of a fan. You know what I mean? Like, kind of.
He has a mentality of a fan.
Yeah, because a lot of the decisions that he made were based kind of like how a lot of the fan base felt, whether it was Derek Carr or whether it was obviously Josh McDaniels. You know what I mean? Like there'll be a time where he'll be like, oh yeah, this makes a whole lot of sense. We're getting Josh McDaniels. He won all those rings with Tom Brady and da-da-da-da on this, that, and third. Mm-hmm. And then like he literally was getting harassed at the game. He's like, no. I'm not dealing with this no more. You know what I mean?
I don't want that kind of smoke, man. Like,
I don't know if y'all remember it. Like, it was like there was some clips going viral, like people running up on Mark, like, y'all need to fire Josh McDaniels. And literally a week later, McDaniels get fired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
couldn't even enjoy his PF Changs, man. People was on his ass. Like, it's crazy.
Just run up on a Dodge Caravan with
yeah, for real. Like, man,
man.
I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough. Like, I would like to hope that Mark Davis is kind of evolving from having that kind of mentality, but he just seems like the type, like, let me feel out what the fans are saying, and then he's gonna roll with that.
He's just too close.
What I mean? Like,
he just too. There's no there's no level of separation. Like, I understand what Severe's saying 100%. Like, if you're the owner of something, of anything, you know what I mean? You want to be informed when it comes to the big decisions because it might have something to do with you making money or whatever the case may be. It's a big decision. But in this case, like, I don't think he should be making football decisions. So we can all agree on that. Like, you should rely on the experts, which he does with his WNBA team. But for some reason, with his NFL team, it's a little closer to heart because his pops was owner all them years, and he did it his way. And I'm sure he's probably like, I'm gonna be like Pops. I'm gonna do it my way too, subconsciously. But he'll have interviews where he's like, yeah, I do need to get a football guy that can that's like above the head coach and GM. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's a whole different conversation. Hopefully the Raiders are able to get some trade compensation for Davante Adams. They do have a game this week. I don't know if y'all forgot, but they do have a game this week. They play the Broncos, the stinking Broncos, the donkeys, and it's tough though because this week it's going to be on the road against Denver. I know we have this winning streak, but we're going into this game with a whole lot of distractions. And before we get into the matchup, let's take a look at the injury report, the latest injury report that we have right now, as of right now. Let me 1 second here. Let me pull this up. See if y'all can see it. All right, perfect. And you see Max Crosby obviously still dealing with that high ankle sprain. He's out. From what we heard, the beat writers are saying that he was like training on the side, so he's trying to get back on the football field. But the Raiders are not going to rush it because you don't want to make that high ankle sprains take a while to recover. To be honest with you,
it does.
If we're being realistic, it's like a 4 to 6 week timeline. Maybe Max is a freak athlete where he could come back in half the time, possibly, but
yeah,
we'll see. Divine Diablo is still out. That's big right there because Luke Masterson has been one of the worst linebackers I've ever seen in my life. in space. Like I feel like every time it's a one-on-one situation, he's getting broke. Like he can't make that open field
Yo.
tackle. Like it's crazy.
Watson smoked his boots on one of them moves, bro.
Oh
he put a
my
move
God.
on him. Yeah, that was nasty, man.
Yeah.
Something terrible. Somebody else did too. I think it was a catch out toward the sideline, and I think he like Masters over pursued it, and like it was just bad, bro. It was really bad. How's Tyreek McAllister, bro? You had 2 plays in entire game.
Tyreek McAllister.
Yo, every time he touched the ball, he was getting wrecked.
He was getting wrecked.
Man. But you could see the speed. But like as soon as someone like put a hand on him, he was getting thrown across the field, slammed to the ground. Like, got a lot of heart, man. Got a lot of heart for sure. But Thayer Mumford is still out, so it's probably gonna be another week of Glaze, Diablo. I mean, who do you guys want to see out there? Instead of obviously we don't want Masterson out there. We'll see who the Raiders roll out with, just because he's been struggling. But who's the linebacker that you want to see take that weak side linebacker spot?
Hey, one of the Amaris, man, whether it's Bernie or Gaynor, I really don't care. It's 1A, 1B at this point. Both youngsters. I want to see one of them out there. Eichenberg will be cool for whatever reason. They're kind of baby in that situation. I don't know why, but he's been playing a lot in special teams. So let Gaynor and Bernie kind of battle it out. Who's gonna get the starting spot, and they'll probably split time anyway. But I want to see one of those two on the field.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. I could agree with you on that, man. And it's because they're a lot more athletic than Masterson and Eichenberg too as well. So you put those guys in there, you might get a little bit more athleticism that you had with Divine Diablo. But we'll see, man. Raiders going to have to figure some things out, because we definitely won the game, but we played against an offense that's also struggling too, if we're being honest. So, and Denver, I don't think they're doing too well offensively as well, because they're dealing with their rookie quarterback issues and
threw for 60 yards the entire game.
Yeah,
exactly.
But the last game. So, and the 32nd in the league in offense. So we got another situation where hard nosed defense, but that offense is not good. So we're gonna have to bring our hat though, because we're gonna get into the mud with them. I definitely believe that.
Man, this injury report is pretty crazy. We got DeCamerion Richardson, who hasn't even played a snap in the regular season. He's still out. Rookie cornerback. Michael Mayer is out for personal reasons. You said it again?
He's on that Raiders scholarship again.
You think
I said DeCamerion FaceTime.
We got Richardson on the Raiders scholarship.
For real.
Yeah.
Nah, for real. And he has that hamstring injuries, and hamstring injuries are ugly, man. Like, damn near should be an IR candidate, to be honest with you, just because
he's already missed 4 games. So might as well have been.
I mean, they're like, at this point, they're like, hey, he's missed 4 games, so he might come back in a couple. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Michael Mayer, who's out for personal reasons. Me and Severe talked about this, and the other day we had a show where we're like, we're questioning everything, especially after those big business decision comments by AP. We can now see that Davante was one of them. We've seen Jack Jones one of them. Is Michael Mayer one of them? Michael Mayer is out for personal reasons. Is he a guy that might possibly on the trade block? He's not unhappy with his role. Obviously, he was a highly touted star coming out of Notre Dame, baby Gronk, coming into his second season. He was. You could tell like he was super confident. He definitely thought he would have more of a presence in that offense. He has really. Team captain too as well. So I don't want to hope the worst, because we haven't heard anything official saying that he's going to get traded or anything like that. But like I said, we got to question everything. I mean, what do y'all think about this? I mean, Mike, let me start with you, since me and Severe talked about this. What do you think about this? Like Michael Mayer being out for personal reasons, can he possibly be traded?
You might be on the money with that. I thought maybe it was like a family issue or something like that. But the more I think about it, a lot of this stuff happened post business decisions statement, right? Yeah. People started disappearing all of a sudden. You know what I mean? People started walking a little bit differently. We haven't heard from Michael Mayer since then. So And from Michael Mayer's perspective, like he sees a guy like Brock Bowers getting kind of his volume, and you look at that and like, hey, where do I fit in? Am I the fifth option here? Am I the sixth option? Like, where do I stand? So, and we don't have the quarterback that can really like kind of operate it and get both involved, unfortunately. So, he might be like, hey, give me somewhere where I can succeed. Put me somewhere else. Now, the problem with that is like, what do you get for him? Because getting like a mid-round pick is not enough. It's not enough. Michael Mayer is still until proven otherwise, I think he's still, he could be a top 10 tight end in this league. Yeah, I believe. Definitely. He has that potential to do so. So I don't. Yeah. I just don't. I don't want to get rid of him for a fourth or fifth or anything like that. Yeah. Maybe you package him with a Davante Adams, and then maybe you do get that first in that situation from a team.
And Garrett Wilson or something like that. If we can do that, I'll do
it. Yeah. It has to be a package deal. Like he can't just be an individual trade, because then we get scraps for that, and that's not good for business. That's not good for the team. Like, but I think Harrison Bryant is probably playing better ball than Michael Mayer at this point. So, Harrison Bryant, I don't know if you guys, saw any of the tape, but a lot of his presence was felt through the blocking. He's committed to being a blocker, and he'll get the ball from time to time, but he's not one of those guys that's like, I'm a highly heralded guy. Like, get me the ball. I feel a certain type of way about it. He's playing within his role, and he's comfortable with doing that, it seems like. So, addition by subtraction, like we said, it just fits better with what we're trying to do.
Did you see a lot of good stuff from Brock Bowers blocking as well?
Yes. But a lot of times, particularly on that opening drive, where they score first, that first score they had, not the opening drive, but that first score. Yeah. He was lined out as a receiver, so he was getting motioned in and kind of like put into the C gap. Put into the C gap and going in there and making blocks. He was doing that, but he was getting motioned in as from a receiver. So he was originally receiver coming in as a tight end and then being almost like a lead blocker. And he did well, but I think Harrison Bryant looked a lot better as far as blocking goes.
Traditionally, as a tight end, Harrison Bryant was a good blocker, is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think as a blocker, this past game was Brock Bowers' best game as a blocker. But the first 3 weeks, he was really up and down. Like there are some bad whiffs. Like there are some bad whiffs on tape. So but this week, I mean, he kind of got it together. In terms of Michael Mayer, I kind of go back and forth because I think he wasn't on the injury report at some point, right? But then I want to say that maybe that first day he wasn't on the injury report, and then he popped up as personal. And I don't know if that coincided with that team meeting or not as well. That's what I'm looking at. But then I was also watching AP's presser for context clues. And, in that first presser, like he really wouldn't – like usually he calls Davante, he calls him Tay. But at one point he called him Adams. Another point he called him 1-7. Like you can tell like there was like some animosity there. But when he talked about Michael Mayer, he was still like, oh, yeah, Big Mike. So
he's still Big Mike,
I think he's still Big Mike. So I think that he still may be good with AP. That's just me like trying to find context clues, try to read between the lines. But hey, you never know. But below the surface, there could be some stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully everything's good, man. Because AP's for sure definitely keeping it close to vest. Like he hasn't really said anything. When people ask him, it's like, yeah, he's out for personal reasons. And then when he's coming back, when he's done with his personal stuff, I'm just like, damn, like you're not giving a damn clue, nothing. So hopefully it's I don't want to imply that, I know the other day I was like, hey, I think he possibly could be traded, but like, man, these days you have to question everything, man. After the famous, whatever you want to call it, man, the business decision comments, man, we've seen people, we're seeing a lot of Hey, one thing I'll say, AP's following through on his comments. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He is following through on his comments. But just to take it back here to the injury report, we see Mwaga, linebacker. He's also not practicing. Davante Adams, we all know that whole situation. Dylan Parham.
Yeah, partially torn labia.
Oh, Parham?
What? No. No, never mind, man. Davante Adams, yeah, hamstring. I said partially torn labia, man. Hey,
exactly.
You folks out there, go ahead and look up. Put it on incognito mode and look up the word labia if you don't know.
That's there.
Hey, Mike, you hella threw me off.
NSFW. That's NSFW.
Yeah.
I thought he said partially torn labrum.
Damn, man.
No.
Hey, that's hilarious. That is funny.
He tore his labrum, tied himself on the back, but no, he said labrum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I thought you said labrum. I was like,
nah, definitely not. A little lower than that, bro.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. Shots, that's whew.
Man, just saying.
Mike ain't holding back, man. Dylan Parham is out with, I guess, hurt Achilles. So that's something to.
Yeah. They also said he could have came back.
Yeah. I heard that same thing as well. He could have came back.
They're nursing it right now. They're being real precautionary.
Okay.
I expect Parham to play. He should be out there.
We'll see what he does in that all important Friday practice before the game. So we'll see.
Yep.
If he plays that, then if usually that's a good sign that most like there's a chance that he'll play that game. But as of right now, he hasn't practiced all week. Like we said earlier, Tyreek McAllister, man, them body slams, they're great. Like he was getting.
Man.
Whew. Welcome to the NFL moment. I mean, he's
getting with RKO.
He was,
hasn't practiced all week. Yeah, like he felt it on Monday. I mean, he probably felt good after that win on Sunday, but he definitely felt it on Monday. He hasn't practiced all week. Colton Miller didn't practice on Wednesday. Back limited practices, so that's good. Like he's getting back to.
He still don't look the same, man. He still don't look like how he used to. That's a problem. That's really concerning for me, man. Like that shoulder. Now he got a knee too. Like it, bro. I don't know, man.
He's breaking down. You think so? He's breaking down.
Yeah,
well,
he's not even 29 yet. I think he turns 29 next month. He's not even 29 yet, man. So I hope it's not that.
Well, I'll say this. Do you think missing an entire offseason to a player, a veteran like Colt Miller, that can really affect him, an offensive lineman that can really affect him, missing the entire offseason?
At this point, you should be good to go.
Yeah.
To me, I think week 5, you should be in the full. You got the routine down. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This is not his first rodeo. Like he's a seasoned vet at this point. Like I think at week 5 you should be good to go, but he still doesn't look good, man. He still doesn't look good. So
it's crazy
I don't know.
too. Like
we'll see.
It's crazy. I felt like this offseason, like people were showing him love, saying like he's a top 10 left tackle, but with him, what made him so good was his level of consistency. Like he was solid, he was good, but he wasn't like dominating out there. It wasn't like Trent Williams on the other side. Like you're like, oh my God, like we got a beast at left tackle, but he was consistent. Yeah. He probably our best offensive lineman for the last few years.
Definitely,
for sure. Before that, I think what you say, Hudson maybe was our best offensive line center. You know what I mean? Right,
definitely Rodney Hudson.
Rodney Hudson was a monster, and then he kind of fell off a little bit later in his Raider career. But he's back at it. He's limited. Jacorian Bennett is on the injury report, but he's fully practiced. So, hey, shout out Jacorian Bennett, man. He's having a breakout year, bro. Man, he's answered the call. He's answered the call.
He's been our best corner this year, in my opinion. I think he's been our best corner.
Sure. Yeah, not even close. He's been by far number 1.
Man, look how long this injury report is, man. I'm trying to get to the end.
I know you still scrolling, damn.
Yeah,
but Trey have the damn roster on there.
Yeah, Trey Taylor was activated this week. So Trey Taylor, safety. Do you guys see him coming into this game, or probably going to take a couple weeks for him to get back into the flow of things, football shape, and all that stuff?
Yeah, I suspect he's going to be inactive by the time the game starts.
Yeah,
yeah,
agreed. What's crazy is that Trey Taylor gonna probably see playing time before DeCamerion Richardson, and Trey Taylor started the season on injured reserve. That's wild.
That's true.
Yeah. Zamir did not practice, so he's dealing with a groin issue. He was limited on Wednesday, and then like his latest practice on Thursday. So we'll see how it looks like on Friday, which will be today when y'all watching this. So we'll see what that looks like. But Zamir is, and this might open up the door for maybe even if Zamir probably is able to practice on Friday, this might open the door for Madison to be more featured more, and Zamir just probably come in as a more of a complimentary piece on offense because Madison right now he's the hot hand right now.
Yeah.
Isaiah Pulamayo.
Plus Madison is definitely going to get the majority of the snaps in this game. I mean, Zamir went down on Tuesday with that groin, so if he does have an injury, it's not. He's going to be. I don't think we're going to see much of him this week. I mean, if I had to guess, we're not going to see much of Zamir because of the injury.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Isaiah Pulamayo is he's good to go. It looks like fully practiced. He was on the injury report for personal reasons. Did he have a child? I think that's why he missed Wednesday practice. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Yeah, shout out to him. Congrats.
He's gonna be out at least 2 weeks then, right?
At least 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
Oh, 2 weeks? Or not, man? Maybe he's taking the Davante special.
Well, he had to, he had to repair that labia that he tore.
He turned in his FMLA form. We're gonna be out 2 weeks.
I think Raider Nation is celebrating right now. We don't want to celebrate a player getting hurt, but Luke Masterson might have found his way off the field with. Looks like he's hurt right now, so he's dealing with a knee issue. He didn't practice on Thursday, so we'll see how that goes.
He came up hobbled on Tuesday. He came up hobbled on Tuesday as well. Him and Zamir. So he might be sitting out. We're definitely gonna see one of the Amaris, either Bernie or Gainer. So
we'll see, man. Because the undrafted free agents are making plays right now. Snowden obviously ended the game with the sack last game. I mean, he gives the Raiders a little bit of speed over there. Obviously, they lost that with Kuntz at edge. So hopefully, maybe one of the linebackers, Bernie or Gainer, could come in. I want to see Gainer. I want to see how Gainer looks like with the starters. Like, I want to see how he looks because he was making plays in the preseason. I know preseason is a whole different ball game, and NFL is where it's official. But I just want to see how it looks like for him out there. And I know you mentioned some things about him, like how the Raiders can utilize him, blitz him off the edge, find ways to get him involved. So I kind of like that. I want to see how the Raiders could to take advantage of his skill set. But Cody Whitehair is also on the injury report, limited practice, but most likely I think he'll be good to go. Probably might come in for it looks like Dylan Parham. Yeah, man. So we'll see. But man, Raiders are beat up, and look at the Broncos right now. I don't like this.
Yeah, they're pretty much full strength right now.
Yeah, full strength. Outside of the guy, I think a young running back that they really like, it looks like he's probably going to miss this game. But everybody else fully practiced. That's on the injury report. So, yeah, man, that pretty much wraps up the injury report. The Raiders kind of been dealing with some. If you think about it, a lot of the games that the Raiders have played are pretty physical. I mean, that first game against the Chargers, physical game. Baltimore Ravens, physical. Even against the Browns, man, super physical. I'm not going to call that Panthers ass whooping a physical game.
We got physical, but it was
exactly.
But yeah, man, let me get back to it, man. So back into the game now. Like, all right, what? Let's just get into it, man. The Broncos, they are not a team that we should say, oh, is it going to be a hard game, tough game? But they do have a really good defense, really tough defense. It's going to be on the road. And the Raiders already have a whole lot of distractions they're dealing with. What would you say the keys to the game, Mike? I mean, if you just had to name one.
Naming one.
On the road.
Wow.
To get this W.
On the road. Quarterback play. Quarterback play. Simple as that. Let's see what Gardner Minshew can do. I want to see creative. I want to see some more cross routes. I want to see the tight end get more involved. Get the tight end. See if we can get Trey Tucker, open in some certain situations, short routes and things like that. Let's matriculate down the field and demote defense, and started with the pass, and then kind of leading to the run. But I want to get the tight ends involved in this one. That's my key to the game.
Get the tight ends involved. I mean, hey, look, I think the identity, so this is what I'm saying too, because I know I mentioned Michael Mayer earlier, and I was saying that he could possibly get traded, but like, hey, at the end of the day, like if Davante's leaving, I think I could see Michael Mayer being featured a whole lot more, especially if we can get that run game going. Man. This entire offense can change, especially with Davante out. Now they can fully commit to, severe shout out to him. He was talking about how like they can really feature Brock Bowers and use some of the stuff that he did in college and the type of offense that he was in. So, hey, I think the Raiders can do some stuff, but we got to see it because Denver's they're going into this game the third ranked defense in the NFL, man. So it's going to be a tough defense. Severe, what would you say a key to the game to win this game?
Kind of similar to what Mike was saying, but a little bit different. I'm just going to talk about offensive ingenuity. I think we have to be creative to attack this defense. I think straight up, while I think we have the skill position players, I don't think we have the quarterback to really beat these guys straight up. I mean, two of the better quarterbacks in the league, conceivably right now, Baker Mayfield and Aaron Rodgers, they both lost to this team, right? One of them lost to this team with Bo Nix, as Mike alluded to, only throwing for 60 yards. So I think we kind of got to get creative. Do some of that stuff that Georgia was doing with Brock Bowers. Just find ways to get the ball in his hand and let him just, run after the catch. Find ways to get Jacoby more involved. I doubt if Michael Mayer is back this week, but like Brock Bowers is used to running that running with another tight end. He had Darnell Washington at Georgia, so like we need to utilize these guys. I want to see us maybe hit Trey Tucker. We've been missing him. Or hit him on a deep route. Do some jet sweep stuff. Do some more RPO stuff. Some misdirection stuff. Like take advantage of this defense's aggression. And I know right now I think Zach Allen he's leading the league in pressures. Playing on the interior of that defensive line. So use our speed to attack the perimeter. I think we just have to be creative offensively in order to beat a team like that. And you don't want to get too cute, but you want to be creative. And I know that's a fine line, but I think we have to toe that line if we want to win this game.
So we got to get creative on offense, and then Mike, you said we got to get the tight ends involved. I would say I'm gonna go to the other side of the. I think the way the Raiders got to win this game. I don't think it's going to be offensive. We're going to have to do some things offensively to contribute to winning the game, which I agree with you guys. But I would say that this got to be a Patrick Graham game. Rookie QB, we got to figure a way to dominate the line of scrimmage, get after him, make him force a lot of turnovers. I think that's going to give us a chance to win the game. If the defense, we got to win ugly. At the end, this is going to have to be another ugly game. It's going to have to be another ugly game. We're kind of beat up right now as far as the team and the injuries and stuff like that. So we got to get in there and get out and try to figure out a way to win. And I think part of that has to be the defense needs to get after the quarterback and force a lot of turnovers to a rookie QB, because what Patrick Graham is doing on defense, I feel like he's doing a good job of like disguising what he's doing and sending guys where they're not expecting. Like I think Chris Snowden, I think that was like a stunt that Chris Snowden did at the end of the game. It was like a 5-man blitz. I think at the end of the game.
I got the play. We'll get into it.
You got the play. Yeah. So we'll get into that. But that's something that teams are not expecting, and you're doing that against a guy over there that's a rookie QB that hasn't seen a whole lot for that's a quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I think Bo Nix. I think that's going to be the recipe to win this game, man. I think it's going to have to start with the defense, and then the offense got to complement the defense, which is how we kind of looked at this entire season. Is the defense got to lead the way, and then the offense got to complement the defense. Run the football, find ways to get the balls to the playmakers. But in this game, I think with everything going on offense, I know, Severe, you said, like, hey, find creative ways, but I don't want us to get too cute on offense. I want, build off that run game. Let's build off that run game. And I guess that's a bonus. Like, try to build off that run game that we had last week. We had, over 150 yards rushing. So hopefully we can find a way, let Madison, maybe Madison has a career resurgence this year with the Raiders. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I will say this, man, two points. To Severe's point. He's talking about, not getting cute, but mixing things up. Use the players you got, their strengths. Now, we saw Tyreek McAllister getting those sweeps to the outside, and he broke for one on that scoring drive, 12 yards. I want to see DJ Turner back there. He seems like a Debo Samuel. He has the same type of build. He can be back there and bring some power and speed. Yeah. And then, we saw Brock Bowers on jet sweeps. We saw, we saw Trey Tucker score on the end around. That's the way where you can use the guys you have, the strengths, and not be cute with the run game, but mix it up at the same time. Yeah. Now, to your point, bro, you're absolutely right. This is a defensive game that needs to be led by the defense. Mm-hmm. Bo Nix has his quarterback rating is like in the 30s under pressure. So what does that mean? That means turnover city. Yep. We got to get the fumbles. We got to get interceptions, short field to the offense, and that's going to win the game. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think everything contributes to winning the game, everything that we talked about. I just feel like this game, with everything going on with Davante Adams and how we felt like the offense with all these playmakers, now we just got to just make it supremely simple. This is a game where we got to do what works. Just like AP said last week, we got to do what works. And in this game, I think we got to get after the quarterback. And I think that, man, this might be a game, man, I can kind of see it's hard to predict this, but who cares? I'm going to predict it. A Raiders defensive touchdown. You know what I mean? Just because with Bo Nix, he's gonna do something. If Patrick Graham is in his bag, he's gonna force him to do something that he didn't. He's gonna regret. So we'll see how it shakes out. That's pretty much wraps up keys to the game. Denver Broncos. I think we've won 8 straight games. I think 8 straight games. So we'll see, man. Hopefully we could continue that streak, man, and the Raiders could block out all the noise with Davante Adams and everything that's going on this week. And I guess that's a good segue, man. And everybody in the chat, man, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Like the thumbs, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys are going to be seeing this on all our channels, so if you guys haven't already, make sure to do so. And let us know in the chat too, man. Let us know, man, how y'all feel about everything that we talked about. Davante, where he possibly can go, keys to the game to win this game on the road. Because, hey, the Raiders got to play a game this week. With everything going on, the Raiders do got to play a game this week. But let's move it along to Around the Nation. Let's talk about it, man. Everything that's going on this week. And we obviously talked about Davante Adams. And, that's been a topic of discussion everywhere anybody that's a fan of the team or not even just fan of sports, NFL, everybody's been talking about the trade demand by Davante. And now a lot of people predicted it. We try to be like, what, it's all this noise coming from the outside, but it was really coming from Davante and his team. Yep. And it was, they knew what it was. But this is just something funny that I wanted to put up here. If y'all recognize the receivers on the screen real quick. You see Davante.
Do you peep the background? It says Divas Mobile in the back, bro.
Divas Mobile. And you know who posted this real quick? A lot of people reposted this and posted this, but out of all people who posted this, let me see if I could oh man, it's not let me see if I could. I'll go back here. I want to see. Y'all probably see it here. Oh no, I can't. Okay, hold on. Y'all see it in a second. Hold on 1 second.
Then you can see it in the corner, yeah.
AB had the audacity to repost this, man, but that's the type of dude he is. He doesn't care at all.
Good old
But,
CTE extraordinaire over here, man.
Exactly, man.
But real quick, man, before we get the conversation started about everything that's going on this week, especially with AP and all the talk. If you had to rank these guys as divas, who would be number one? Who would be number two? Who would be number three? Let's Mike, you start off.
Oh man, that's rough, bro. Because they all did some fuck shit differently, bro. They all did it different. Excuse my French, but
yeah,
I gotta put AB number one. This dude came in to training camp on a hot air balloon. He had frostbite feet. Yeah. Then it was a helmet situation.
He was
disgusting. Then he called Mike Mayock the C word. Like,
yeah,
bro, that's a whole new level, bro. Like, that's a whole level. Now, second's got to be Davante Adams because he did some Jedi mind tricks. He's making it look like that he's the victim here, like he's the one that's not at fault, not at fault at all. Like this is he's the victim. He's being a prisoner. The Raiders are keeping him hostage right now. He's got everybody believing that situation. He had us all believing that he wanted to be a Raider, that he was a Raider for life. He ain't going nowhere. He had us all fooled. So he's second behind Antonio Brown. And, Randy Moss was the original diva, right? He did it in the traditional, conventional way. He didn't do this, extra tricks and things like that. He was like, I'm not getting the ball. We're not winning. Get me out of here. So I got 1 AB, 2 Davante, and 3 Randy Moss.
Man, severe, man. Who you got ranked?
I'm gonna probably go with number 1 AB.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't get a damn thing out of AB, bro. We didn't get
He did all that. He did all that to not play not one snap, bro. Yeah.
We didn't get a damn thing out of AB, bro. And all we got was stories of how he was destroying everybody in practice.
Yeah.
Like he destroyed everybody in practice and then just did when he wanted to. Like, all right, I'm gonna cook every DB you got on the squad and then just leave with his people.
To this day, too, Derek Carr, like I think I see a podcast, Derek Carr was talking about like he's like and it's, the funny thing is AB has took shots at Carr but to this day, Derek Carr's like, that dude is one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's how great a player Antonio was.
His work ethic is otherworldly, bro. Like Kobe type work ethic, Max Crosby type work ethic. Like even Max Crosby was like, bro, he's the hardest worker I've ever seen in my life. Like Max Crosby, who was a legendarily hard worker, was like, AB is the hardest worker I've ever seen in my life. It was crazy how hard this guy practiced. So, but we didn't get a damn thing out of him. But a whole bunch of headache. And some hilarious moments, including that fool posting that phone call with John Gruden. Oh, bro. He emasculated John Gruden, bro. That was just a horrible look, man.
Yeah.
But number 2, man, I gotta go. I gotta go Randy, man. Just because I gotta go Randy, man. Because he quit. He just sandbagged it, man. He sandbagged it. Made it look like he was done, bro. And then the next year that fool like leads the league in
23 touchdowns. Yeah.
Everybody that was watching the game, you didn't even have to be like a person that studied film. You could see Randy just walking his routes. Like he wasn't even.
Man.
Bro, it was bad. And Randy was my favorite player too, man. Like Randy and Davante were both my favorite players at the time they got to the Raiders, bro. I've never want my favorite player to get to the Raiders again, bro. It does not end well at all, bro. And then another reason I'm putting Randy second is because John Bowie. I don't know what we're gonna get for Davante, but it's gonna be better than that. It's gotta be better than that because
we gotta hope.
That was terrible. And I put Davante last just because he produced. He had one of his best seasons with us that first year. Mm-hmm. But the entire, but most of his tenure here, he was gaslighting the entire Raider Nation, making it look like he wanted to be here. He was bought all in. He didn't know why. There's all this speculation about him wanting to be traded. When behind the scenes, he's telling the team like, yeah, I'd really rather not be here. So. He's number 3, but it's very close between him and Randy, just because gaslighting was on 10,000 with Davante. At least with Randy, you kind of knew where he stood.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with all you guys when it comes to number one. It's easy. Antonio Brown, like he didn't play a snap. He did the most. Everything that he did, he was trying to do to leave the Raiders. Like he was doing everything. Like it was his plan to get traded first. He didn't care who he got traded to, as long as he left the Steelers, got to the Raiders, and he did everything he had to do in his power to make sure that he was a huge distraction, just doing weird stuff. And literally, you know what's crazy? If he just played week one, I think the Raiders were on a hook for $30 million. But I'm sure in his mind,
29 or something.
Yeah, so he really didn't want to play with Ray. Like it was just so much. Man, I hated AB for that. Man, I was like, damn, bro, like you did all that to not even play not one snap. And just like Severe mentioned, that phone call was so embarrassing. Like it was just like literally John Gruden just begging on the phone. You could just tell, like, come on. He's like, come on, AB,
come on, man. Jobs on the line.
Come on, dog.
Yeah,
come
man.
on, dog.
You sound like
come
Boosie.
On, man. Come on, dog.
Sound like Boosie, man. That is funny. That's funny. But yeah, definitely number one diva. I gotta agree, man. Antonio Brown. Number two, I gotta give it to Randy Moss, man. I gotta give it to Randy Moss. I think now looking back at Davante and even Randy Moss, they're both passive aggressive. Like they're both passive aggressive. Like they don't really like. I don't even know, man. But then I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Randy Moss. Right? Randy Moss just giving up on routes. I don't even know if you want to call that passive aggressive. He was just, I don't care what y'all gonna say, what y'all gonna do.
Right, yeah.
And he was talking shit to the Raiders. He was like, man, he was just, I just kind of hated him for a while. I was like, damn. And the thing is too, I agree. Like he was one of my favorite up. Like Randy Moss, like come on, like
same here,
the talent of Randy Moss is still like is Hall of Fame. That was a Hall of Fame talent right there. And the fact that we're able to, he leaves the Raiders and has it like Severe said, man, like breaks the touchdown record, Jerry Rice's touchdown record. That shit, man. But Davante is definitely number three. I'll give him number three. But I can see why you have him at number three, just because like he literally was plotting the whole time.
Yeah.
He was plotting the whole time, and even Severe when he said, like, because the other day we were like questioning everything. We said a lot of stuff, and I was like connecting the dots, and we're connecting the dots with a lot of different things. And then Severe, he was like, bro, even that clip with Aaron Rodgers saying that, yeah, I can't wait to play with him again. It just, damn, bro. They talk to each other all the time, man.
This was the biggest operation I've ever seen, man. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it to this level, bro. Like, this was 2 years in the making. Like, he fooled us for 2 years, bro. Like,
it's a straight psyop. It was a straight psyop, bro.
And him being a weekly guest on K Adams, that I'm gonna add that to it. Like, that was very strategic. And there was a clip out there, Q Myers. He basically was talking about the K Adams interview.
Saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, and he basically was like, as soon as he heard her ask that question, he was like, oh, yeah, like Davante told you to ask him that question. Like that, this is all a whole setup. And K Adams on social media, she responded to it like, he told me, like trying to laugh it off, like, but
get out of here.
I don't know, man. It just seems very calculative from Davante. Perspective. Obviously, we've seen the receiver documentary where he just over here just, whining, and we've seen him in that Detroit Lions game where the Kansas City game where he just slamming his helmet and running over photographers and stuff like that. Like, doing the most.
Crashing out. He crashed out so many times with us, man. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I can definitely see how someone could say he's number two behind Antonio. But I can never forget Randy Moss, man. He went out like he gave the biggest middle finger. I think he gave one of the biggest. outside of Antonio Brown, before Antonio Brown, he was like number one, like the number one diva for sure. Not even close. Not even close. But, hey, this is a good conversation to have, man, just especially with the recent news with Davante Adams in the trade.
Let us know in the comment section what y'all think. Let us put in the comment section y'all order. And so I want to see, because maybe like the Davante stuff is still fresh. It might be some people that got Davante number one right now just because that wound is still open. So just let us know in the comment section what y'all think, man.
There's still room for more news, so you never know. He could take that number one spot.
It's not over yet.
Yeah. So
it's not over
stay
yet,
tuned.
Man.
It's crazy, man.
In other news,
if we get like a bag of Fritos back, then he at least jumps to number two, bro. If we get like
no, if he goes to the Chiefs, it's number one.
Oh yeah.
If he somehow goes to Kansas City, that's number one. That's number one. Sorry, that's what it is.
Or he goes to a team, and the whatever conversation is terrible, and on top of that, like he has his biggest game of his career against us. I'm never gonna forget his.
Or he wins a ring.
Yeah. I mean, it's just us talking some smack. I mean, obviously we're frustrated that we're losing a great player and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we understand like we're not knocking him as a player, but we are kind of frustrated that he's leaving on this note. He could have been left. He could have, it could have been a whole, other way of handling this. But I guess it's never going to be a right way when a great player leaves the team because we know that we're going to get worse. It's going to be an adjustment period. It is what it is. But in other news, one of the biggest haters felt like it was a good time to chime in this week. Y'all, I think, yeah, man. I think y'all know this guy, man. The Pat McAfee show, man, on ESPN. I mean, he's doing big things over there. He had Mike.
Love Pat McAfee, man.
Yeah, he had Mike Lombardi. Mike Lombardi.
You don't love him.
On the show, and this is what he had to say about the whole situation going on with Davante Adams getting traded, and obviously AP is a head coach because he got to say something about AP. Yeah, you already know. But here what
he's been very clear, and he's been very private about it. I'm not saying anything that he's done is wrong. I mean, he's been very upfront about what he wants, and he didn't show up to the off-season program for a bunch of other reasons. But I think essentially, nothing says I'm sorry better than money. And unless you're willing to reward the contract, I think it's going to be a problem. I've never seen a guy not go to – Max Crosby didn't go to the game on Sunday with a hamstring. That, to me, bothers me. That tells me there's something going on in that locker room. Now, look, Antonio Pierce – has taken over. He was the interim coach. When you're the substitute teacher, it's a lot easier to get the students to listen and behave and do all those things. When you become the full-time teacher, all of a sudden you have to change your personality. We've really only seen two coaches go from interim status to full-time status and have a longevity in their NFL careers. Jason Garrett being one, Doug Marrone in Jacksonville being the other. So this is a challenging job, and you change because the position requires you to change. You're a head coach, and the players see that change, and they're like, what happened to the dude that was last year? It's a hard thing, Pat, and I think it's a tough situation to be put in.
So he called Davante 17 in presser earlier this week whenever talking about injuries, and then there's a full cut-up with the way he's chatting about Davante. Those two are on the outs, you think? Or are they on the outs because of the business side of it all, or...?
I think they're on the outs because of the business. I think, to me, somebody – look, I can't prove this. I don't know, but as Chuck eloquently said before I came on, you can't lie to players. You can't mislead players. And there seems to be a disconnect here, but there seems to be more than one disconnect because I think Crosby has always been the team guy, but when he doesn't show up to a game, that tells me something without knowing something.
Come on, man. I think he's reaching. He's reaching a little bit. I see he tries to mix in a little bit of like, oh, okay, this makes sense, but then it's like, first of all, Max didn't miss the game because of hamstring. He missed the game because of high ankle sprain. And on top of that, what did they say when you get a sprain? You don't want to put no pressure on it. You don't want to put no weight on it. So I'm sure. And he was tweeting during the game. He was like, shouting out everybody that was making a play. So he was definitely like, if you guys, the way, it works nowadays, everything is on social media. And he literally, I was, obviously I follow Max Crosby on X, and he's over here congratulating players, telling them great play. So he was definitely watching the game. He wasn't out of it. And if you hear Max Crosby on these interviews that he does, his podcasts, he has a whole lot of good things to say about AP. I don't get the vibe that Max is not an AP guy. That's the guy that he vouched for. He literally vouched for this guy. He said if we can't keep AP, he basically implied that he was going to want to leave the Raiders if we don't get AP as a head coach. So why would he? That doesn't make any sense. And it just, Lombardi just his history doesn't really do him any favors as a hater. I mean, what are your thoughts about the video and what he had to say? Severe.
Go ahead, bro.
There is one thing I know for sure. After watching that video, I know without a shadow of a doubt that Mike Lombardi has never had a substitute teacher in his entire life.
Oh my God.
You think that the students respect the substitute teachers more? Bro, you ain't never had a sub. The sub, hey bro, sub come through, bro. Like I'm older than y'all. That's when they rolled in the TV. It was like, look, bro, it's movie day today. What y'all want?
We the same age, bro. What you talking about?
What movie we putting in, man? We about to watch. So like, bro, the teachers, the kids didn't respect the subs, and the subs didn't give a damn about what happened in that class. Especially if there was a short-term sub filling in for a day. Like, bro, their lesson plan was in the trash. They was kicking it on their phone, cooling. So
chilling.
We ain't never had no sub in his life, bro. So, but one thing that he did say that was true, and it's something we kind of talked about before Antonio Pierce was given the job, was the success rate of interim coaches that get the job is very low. Yeah. It is very low. But, AP is a different breed. AP is not from the same mold as a lot of these other interim coaches. He's a completely different cat. He walks to a beat of his own drum, and that could be, some of what rubs a guy like Davante the wrong way, because AP is such an out of the box thinker, and he's not going to give you the PC answers. He's going to give it to you real. He's going to tell you straight up, bro. Like, hey, you was cutting out on these plays, bro. You wasn't giving it your all, and some people they not used to hearing it raw like that. So. That could be the issue, but
I thought it was the other way around. Not to cut you off, I thought it was the other way around with Davante when he talked about McDaniels and taking hard coaching. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those situations where Mike Lombardi is a documented hater. He came in the beginning of the season. He was talking all that. AP doesn't, even though AP grew up a Raider fan, grew up actually following the team. Somehow, Antonio Pierce is not a real Raider. And he only got the job because he has a low rider and he's from Compton. That has some other connotations, some other undertones. We ain't gonna even get into that. But man, Mike Lombardi, he's a certified hater, bro. And we all know what it's from because he's still mad about it. First of all, his Al Davis fired him, and then Mark Davis fired his son. So he got it's some generational trauma going on right there. His grandkids finna hate the Raiders.
Yeah.
Hey man, I agree with you 100%. When it comes to the substitute teacher, man, I mean, when I grew up, substitute teachers got tortured. You know what I mean? Especially in high school, they got tortured. So I don't know what he was talking about. If the students respected us. If anything, they thought that was a day off. You know what I mean? We ain't got to do nothing today. But Mike, man, what did you think of what Mike Lombardi's comments in the video, man? The clip.
To everybody in Raider Nation, let this be a lesson learned. Never trust anybody with a Bosley hairpiece. That thing is just sitting there, just stagnant, bro. It looked like one unit. It looks wild, bro. It looks wild. Yeah. We all know that's a headpiece for one. Yeah. Guys like Steve Harvey, he had a headpiece. We can't trust that man for other reasons. We won't get into that, right? But even the sports talking heads, right? The Mike Florios, who looks like a Dracula ventriloquist. Stop listening to these dudes, bro. Stop listening to the mainstream media about the Raiders. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. This dude couldn't even get the injury right. He couldn't get the injury right.
Yeah.
Like, and then now we got a lot of people coming out talking about, oh yeah, the Chiefs are monitoring this situation, or like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And Davante was at the game too. As much as everything that Davante was at the game, we all know what led to that. But
it's already invalid. It's already invalid. Everything that you just said. So and even today on JT the Brick, like his show, Mark Schlereth came and called, and he had stuff to say about the Raiders, and it was all negative. To me, this seems like a real calculated, media-wide effort to leave the Raiders cupboards bare dry. We have absolutely nothing. For some reason, that's what they want. I don't know what the reason is. I'm not getting into conspiracy, but this is the worst I've ever seen it. Now, there's always been some hate on the Raiders. There's always been hate. But each week there's something new. There's something new. If it's not Davante Adams, okay, that ended up being true, right? Okay, whatever. But now we got people trying to set the narrative that, one, he's going to the Chiefs, and two, now they're trying to go for Max Crosby. Like,
I saw that.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Stop listening to these folks, people. Please. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't do the research we're doing. They don't do the research the insiders do. They don't know anything about our Raiders. Yeah. Stop listening to them. Stop. Yep. Just stop. That's
Facts,
all I got,
man.
bro.
Facts, man. Yeah, they don't follow the team like we do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so we're gonna see the small things. We're gonna see the patterns. There's gonna be a whole lot of context when we talk about the team, because that's the team that we follow. They're just gonna be doing things just for likes and attention and viewership and all that type of stuff. But it is what it is. I mean, Lombardi, they probably brought him on. Oh, you used to be in the building with the Raiders. You should be a guy that knows about the Raiders. But in reality, like, he goes up there and talks about, like, oh yeah, Max has a hamstring injury and this, that, and, like, come on, man.
Substitute teachers are well respected.
He talks about substitute teachers being well respected. That right there, he lost all credibility with that one. Right when he said that, I was like, oh, yeah.
But there was always that one student that was trying to be the helper for the substitute teacher. Yeah. Maybe he was that dude.
Yeah, maybe. So his whole perspective on it is completely different. Yeah. But look, like we said, man, what a week to be a Raider fan, and part of that reason why I say that is not because of Davante Adams. It's also because AP, man. So the NCAA found that the Raiders coach Antonio Pierce orchestrated a scheme to circumvent COVID-19 recruiting restrictions during his time at Arizona State. He faces a significant penalty if he ever returns to college coaching, which I'm sure has no plans to do that. But NCAA hands Antonio Pierce 8-year show cause penalty. And I think the only other active head coach that has that is Jim Harbaugh, obviously with his hand signal gate, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Man, so what are your thoughts on this, man? Because I feel like when it rains, why are we? It's just like bad news after bad news. Obviously, I don't think there's going to be any effect. Yeah, man, it's like I don't think there's going to be any effect on him coaching the Raiders. I don't think the NFL is going to do anything or ban any. Because if they do anything to Antonio Pierce, then Jim Harbaugh should be like literally the first guy they should hand out any type of suspension or disciplinary actions or whatever. But him as a head coach of the Raiders, there's no effect. But just to hear this news this week on top of the Davante Adams situation, it just feels like a whole lot for the Raiders. But I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Severe, when you first heard this?
Like as you said, man, when it rains, it pours. Man, it's one of those situations where it is like the Raiders are having a down week. Let's kick them one more time. Let's really rub it in. Let's really try to hurt them. And I don't know, man. It's if they really investigated all the stuff that was going on with college football, they would find so much wrongdoing in recruiting.
So much.
We've heard the stories, man. We know that if you play ball, you know the people. You know kids that was, especially back before NIL, right? Like, kids that was pulling up to school in Hummers and H3s, and bro, you 17 years old, or how you like? Your mama works at Costco. Like, how you get this Hummer, dog? Like, we know what's going on. So, it's so much crazy stuff. But the NCAA, they pick and choose, and I'm sure this is one of those things where they know that Antonio Pierce, he's likely never coming back to college football, so they want to make an example and kind of make it look like they're actually enforcing the rules. But like, how long ago were these violations? These violations were 4 years ago. Like, come on, bro. Like, and you just now coming around to punishing him. Like,
the timing of this is crazy.
We all know what it is, man. Yeah, we all know what it is, man. We all know what it is.
To put more context onto what's going on here, look, as you can see here, Antonio Pierce probably took recruits to a local gun shooting range and directed staff to drive recruits to a local bowling alley and arcade. Pierce and others, including Regina Jackson, took. I think you guys were saying that's Jaden Daniels' mom.
Yep.
Took a recruit's parents to strip club with recruiting staff per NCAA. And there's more details, but I mean, I think during that year, like, they were really strict about everything, especially with COVID-19. So it's just like, man, 8 years too. That's a long time. That's a pretty serious penalty for Antonio Pierce as far as his chances of ever even coaching in college. But Mike, what did you first? What was your reaction when you first heard the news?
To me, that right now it's a non-story. It should be. I mean, you look at, in hindsight, a lot of those mandates that they put on, with that was bogus, like, and especially now, like, how did that didn't leave Arizona State? It's not like they won a national championship because of it. You know what I mean? Like, nothing came out of it. No harm, no foul. Like. Yeah. But I just find it funny that they're throwing in little buzzwords here and there to kind of make this situation look worse. Gun range, strip club, like, scheme. Like, it's a bigger the story. They're making the story bigger than what it is. Every major is doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing. And then they had to throw the C-19 thing out there too. Right, so it makes the whole situation worse. You were out in you were out in this situation when the world was at stake. Like, come on, man. It's a non-story, and they're making it way worse than what it actually is.
Now, I agree. It's the timing of it is crazy. Like, it's almost like they want attention. They want everybody to look at them and like, yeah, we're the NCAA. We could do this. And Antonio Pierce is in the news. Oh, this is the perfect time to announce these things that everybody's going to be paying attention. It just seems like
stop listening to these fools, man. I'm telling you.
It's the timing, man. It's the timing. But that being said, that he's talking about around the nation, man, is obviously the Davante Adams trade and the AP situation.
It's always, I just want to say, it's always some crazy stuff with the Raiders, right? It's like involving the NCAA. Like think back to when we got Terrell Pryor, right? We got Terrell Pryor, and then for some stuff that happened in college, Terrell Pryor was suspended by the league. I want to say 5 games. Was it 5 games? Suspended by the league for NCAA violations, right? But Jim Tressel also had some NCAA violations, and the league didn't step in. Know who did something? His own team, the Colts, suspended him from like being a video guy or something like that. Yeah, it's like 7 games. Yeah, it's like, but the league didn't step in to do anything. The Colts did it. But when it came to us and Terrell Pryor, the league mandated he serve a 5-game suspension. They didn't leave it up to the Raiders. So
there's too many. Look, man, I'm not trying to be the conspiracy guy, but there's too many of these situations. Like, bro, what is it about the Raiders that you just do not want to see it succeed? What is it? What is it?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
It's I mean, it's Al Davis, man. Al Davis made a whole lot of enemies, man. He made a whole lot of enemies in the NFL for a long time.
Damn, but
I'm just saying, bro, because we always talk about Al Davis. He's that maverick, but Al Davis, bro, he was giving middle fingers left and right. Like
Yeah.
he was beefing with a lot of the people out here. But going back to what you said, Severe, about like this type of stuff that happens in college. If anybody wants to get a good idea of that, check out that Netflix documentary on Johnny Manziel. That was pretty good. Like the stuff that he was saying, it was like he was getting away with murder. Like the way, like he was literally coming out basically saying I was doing this, I was going here, I was gambling here, I was partying here. They caught me up, but I just lied and made up some whole story. Like watch the entire documentary, man. I want to give it away, man. It's pretty good. And also watch that recent documentary about the hand signal thing that went on in college with Jim Harbaugh. And when you watch that documentary, you understand how big it is. It's not Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines that were looking at other teams and trying to decipher the hand signals. It's like a whole network of team. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So I agree 100%, man. I think it's crazy. It's just, they just wanted to pick somebody, and they picked Antonio Pierce and everybody involved, man. And they called him the ringleader, which is interesting.
Yeah. Ringleader.
Buzzwords,
man. I'm telling you.
Exactly, man. Exactly. You ain't lying, Mike. Buzzwords.
Hey.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that pretty much wraps Around the Nation, man. We could go on and on about some of the stuff that we could talk about as far as what the nation is talking about. But that being said, let's move it along to Extra Point, and let us know in the chat too as well, man, how you feel about Mick Lombardi. You know what I mean? Do y'all feel like he said some facts? Do you guys believe what he's had to say? Is he a hater? I mean, I'm leaning towards hater. I think everybody in the chat's gonna be like, he's a hater, but
yeah.
Just y'all might agree with some of the things he said, man. And then obviously AP being on the news, man, like that's tough to see. But Extra Point, man, it's that time for Extra Point, and this week's Extra Point, I think, might have some good stuff to show us, man, this week on the film. And let me go ahead and put that up for you real quick, and he could break down some stuff for us. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. There you go. Oh, no, not this one. What we doing? My bad. Hold on 1 second. Hit it up right there. Boom. Here we go.
Cool. So, yeah, here we go, man. We've been the biggest critics of Tyree Wilson, but it seems to be that there's some things he's improving. Hey, surprise, he's improving. It's a miracle, right? We're going to look at some of the plays that he brought to the table against the Browns. He had the highest rated PFF grade out of all of our defenders. I don't think that that's the case, but he definitely showed improvement. Let's get into it. I got the spotlight on number 9, Tyree Wilson. He is wide out there in a 7. You can even call it a wide 9. He's in a 4-point stance. I don't know how I feel about that, but here we go. We're going to let it ride out.
I think you're muted. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what happened. You just went out.
Okay, you got me?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I got it freeze right here. Tyree Wilson, lower pad level on the guy. He's got a good extension. Now we all know that he has one of the longest reaches in the NFL, and he's using that to his advantage. He's got it like all in his sternum. You don't want to be in that position as a tackle right there. Good extension, lower pad level, good.
I don't know what's going on with the audio. Hold on. You went out again. You muted. Okay, I muted you now. Okay, so you muted yourself. Hold on.
I keep muting myself.
You good. You good now. You good. Yeah.
Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. All right. So you saw that first play right here. My bad, y'all. I'm pressing the wrong button. So we got a spotlight on Tyree Wilson. He's wide out there. He's in like a wide 9 right here. on that right side. See what he does right here. Right there, another 4-point stance. I don't know how I feel about that. Clogs the hole right there, read the play right off the jump, takes that in step right there to, cause a clusterfuck, as we like to call it, right? He's right there causing the whole, causing the cluster, and there you go. And he didn't make the play, but he initiated that pile, and the rest of the guys that come in and make the play right there. So excellent play from Tyree Wilson. We got the spotlight on him. He's right head over the tight end. And let's see what he does right here. Right here, you got motion from the tight end. He's on that guard, and he's pushing him back. Almost makes the play right there. Has the guard on skates. He's a little too high. And I would also like to see another move besides the bull rush. We've been seeing that all season, that he's not doing a club and rip. He's not doing anything, but he's using that extension to get get in the backfield, which is great. But a secondary move will get him there, and that's what we're missing from Tyree Wilson. But good rep right here. We didn't have any guys making the tackle right there, but he caused the pressure right there. So now we got Tyree Wilson on this outside right here. We got the spotlight on him. Let's show you right here. We got a motion, puts that long arm into his shoulder, and now he's going to show his motor right there. There you go, chasing down Deshaun Watson and making a play right there. So now we got him right here, and this should have been a sack right here. And this is the get off that we've been waiting to see his whole time as a Raider. We've been waiting to see this for a long time, man. And I'm gonna let this play out. First one off the ball. Wow. Have we seen that all season? Have we seen that since he's been a Raider?
Man, he's already he's already 2 steps in, and everybody else is getting off the ball.
79 can't even get into a back pedal, bro.
I love it because we see some improvement, but just to give some context, though, just to let people know, like, what was going on, what were the Browns doing? It just looked like they weren't even aware that he was on that. That's how bad he was, so unblocked. It didn't even look like they knew that he was even there.
Yeah, it was a protection issue. They should have. And I've seen this with offensive linemen, is that the communication needs to be that everybody needs to slide over to their right or left of the screen. We need, to where number 79 has a better angle, number 70, and then the center needs to communicate who's going to get 94, 56 on Adam Butler. It needs to have a full slide over so you can, have that max protection. But they did not do that, and there you go, untouched. There should have been a call to hold, but they didn't call it. But Tyree Wilson almost makes the play right there. So great get off right there. That was impressive. Ended up getting off the field on that drive. So we got Tyree Wilson right here. Inside shade of the tight end. And let's let it ride. Right here. And this is not necessarily the play, but he kind of goes back and makes the tackle right there, showing his motor once again. Yeah. And there you go. You got Tyree Wilson. He was on the inside shade of the tackle. And let's see. Right here, bull rush once again, almost making a play. So this dude was real disruptive in this game, man. I'm going to let it ride out, but here you go. Right there, stunt right there. Has a dude on skates, causes a pile, and is actually a big component of that sack happening. Wide 9 right here on the left side. Here we go. Long extension, using that arm again to really get that extension on the chest of the tackle. And now you got him in coverage right here. Surprise, we got Tyree Wilson, bringing something new out of the bag right here. Drops back right there. Now he's in coverage. And right here, side note, excellent play from Polamalu right there, right? Like, that's an excellent play from Polamalu. So,
definitely.
Wide 9 right there for Tyree Wilson. Right there, almost gets there again. And it actually causes a bad throw. So, Tyree Wilson, very disruptive, like I said. Right here. You got to beat that running back, but the fact that he caused the pressure and had Deshaun Watson roll out right there, it was impressive.
I like the positivity, Mike.
Yeah. So right here, right, we saw some great stuff from Tyree Wilson, but the problem with it all is that when the game's on the line, Tyree Wilson's not on the field. But guess who is on the field? This is the final drive. Browns are going in, and we need somebody to make a play. Enter number 49, Charles Snowden, right here. You see him right there on that right side, right there in the wide 9. You'll see it right here. Bats the ball down right there. Big play from Charles Snowden. So here we go. Game on the line. 4th down and 3. Last play of the game. We got Tyree Wilson in that wide 9 right there. Right there. And then now we got Snowden right there. You said it earlier, Pharaoh, right there, where he's gonna do a stunt where he hits that A gap on the opposite end. This is what you're getting from Snowden, what you're not getting from Tyree Wilson at this point. It would be great to see our first round pick be the one making the plays, final plays at the end of the game. But we got a guy in Snowden right here. Let's let this thing ride. So right there you go. And we're celebrating. Raiders win, man. But yeah, excellent game from Tyree Wilson. But when the game's on the line, we're not relying on him yet because he's not given that secondary pass rushing move, right? He's doing a lot of bull rushing, a lot of reach, that extension, using that great reach. But a club and rip would be nice. A swim move would be nice. A hesitation step would be nice. He's not doing it yet. But we got a guy, Charles Snowden, who saved the day, man.
You think another offseason, like, of working on some of the moves, like, because it feels like he's pretty comfortable with the bull rush, right? So maybe this offseason he looks at like counter moves with that bull rush, things that complement that. You think that can you see that growth in him with another offseason?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, I think so. He's got to give him Max Crosby to kind of, work with him.
I'm not to cut you off. I'm saying off season because I don't know if it'd be possible to do it in season.
No, not right now. It's not enough. You got other things to worry about during the season. I would say off season, yeah, get with Max Crosby. Get them hands right. Maybe take some martial arts with Max Crosby. I know Max Crosby did a lot of martial arts stuff. Get the hands right, so you learn how to throw a proper punch, counter some stuff, use the hands, things like that. Like that will really set him to another level, I think, if done right.
You know what? It's kind of tough though, but I know that we talked about that or before the season started. We said, like, you know what? They're probably going to mix it up with Tyree, maybe move him in the inside in certain situations. Were you able to see that this game? It felt like a lot of it was on the outside.
Yeah.
Or just the season overall, like with Tyree, have they even used him in the inside or try to get some pressure that way and use his skill set that way? Because I know Patrick Graham made a comment last season was we want to improve his hands, so we're going to throw him inside in order to help him use his hands more.
Yeah. They're using him right now a lot on the outside. The inside, I think he would be good too. But the problem with that is you got to have a club and rip if you're going to be on the inside. Bull rushing, those guards know how to anchor down and kind of stalemate you as opposed to certain tackles. Like he can kind of get away with that with tackles in certain situations, but putting him on the inside, you're going to have a secondary move. Yeah. You're just going to be a liability. So, he's definitely got to get another move, man. The bull rush looks great. He has great, he's not letting players get into his chest, because of that long reach he has in his hands. Like he uses his hands very well, but he needs to add something else to that. That's what we're getting from Tyree Wilson, but it seems to be building,
Hey, we'll man, that's what I like to hear, man, because I know, before this, earlier in the season, we're talking about Tyree, and you're just like, and I'm guilty of this as well. I was like, you know what? I don't know if Tyree is that guy, but now that you're saying that, hey, he needs to add another move, that seems pretty possible. Like he could easily, if he works to do that, he can add that to his tools, his skill set a little bit. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it shakes out, man. Hey. Great breakdown, man. If y'all need to go ahead and follow Big Mike Rader, man. This is what he does. He cooking, man, when he's breaking down this film, man. So we appreciate him taking the time to do that. Let's actually get into, last week I mentioned that we got to pick some games. You know what I mean? Before the season started, I was like, hey, we're gonna pick some games. I forgot that we were gonna do that. Let's actually do it this week. Let's make it happen. I actually remembered, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the screen real quick. Let's see here. Here we go. And we're gonna pick some games. All right. So we're definitely not gonna pick that Thursday. So we're gonna start with the Jets. The Jets and Vikings, man. Who y'all got? So this is gonna be a weekly thing, by the way.
This is the overseas game, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, this is the London game because it starts at or wherever country.
Yeah. Yes, it's definitely overseas because of the time, 6:30 a.m.
Yeah. I got the Jets in an upset right here, man.
Yeah.
Ooh. I got the Jets in an upset. Those Europe games are weird, man. You get a lot of weird things happening. Games are closer than what people think. Sometimes the underdog wins those, just depending on how your itinerary and your travel strategy is. That matters when you're traveling this far. The Jets have a shorter distance, not by much, but they have a shorter distance nonetheless. So
true.
I got the Jets right here. They got a rebound from that terrible game against the Broncos offensively. And I think they got the defense to kind of hold what the Vikings are trying to do. I got the Jets in an upset.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Jets too because they're kind of closer to because it's gonna be tough, man, on the players going overseas, the time change. Yep. I'm just gonna assume the Jets can handle a little bit better because they're probably gonna be a little bit closer. The Vikings are 4-0. Are they really a 4-0 team? They're hot. They're playing well.
Yeah.
But I think they come back to earth. I think the Jets probably still win this week. And, Darnold doesn't have a good game against his former team. So I'm also go with the Jets as well. Who you got, Severe?
I'm going to go with the Vikings. I just think Kevin O'Connell is proving Kevin O'Connell is probably the leader and probably by a pretty wide margin for Coach of the Year so far.
Yeah.
Just the job he's done turning Sam Darnold into an NFL quarterback. And part of it is because the weapons that are at his disposal, Justin Jefferson, Addison, Aaron Jones is having a heck of a year so far. So I just think just with that compliment and defensively, like that they're still a pretty solid defensive team. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is a great play caller too, as well. So,
definitely.
Let's move it along. So I'm keeping track of this. Hopefully, you guys doing the same. We got Carolina and the Bears. Mike, who you got?
I'm going with the Bears here. I think that rookie quarterback with Caleb Williams, it takes a while to get things going. Week 5, you might see some strides. As weeks progress, you're going to see some strides with that offense. And I think that this is the perfect game to get things going. I got the Bears winning this game. Maybe a double-digit win right here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Panthers, man. I think since that quarterback change, they're playing like a better football team. And I think last week they ran across a Bengals team that obviously was winless this season. They were desperate. They almost kind of it was actually a game that the Panthers could have won too. But I feel like the Panthers, they just feel like a brand new team right now. So and the Bears defensively I think are pretty solid, but offensively they're still trying to figure things out with Caleb Williams. I'm gonna go with the Panthers, man, in this one.
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears. Just defensively, I think they're just a very for all his flaws. Eberflus is a very good defensive coach, and he has the Bears defense playing very well this year. And I've been very critical of Caleb Williams, but this previous game, I think that was his best game of the year. He has weapons all over the field. This is the return of DJ Moore. I'm sure DJ Moore wants to do some very serious damage to the Carolina Panthers. and Rome Odunze is out there. I think he finally got going as well. So Cole Kmet as well. I just think that the Bears are I think that defensively they're going to overwhelm the Panthers, and I think they do enough offensively to win the game pretty comfortably. 7-10, 7-10 point win.
All right, let's take it to the Ravens and Bengals, man. Who you got, Mike?
This division is going to be one of those that you're just going to – every team is going to beat up on each other. I think the winner of this division is going to have like 9 or 10 wins. And saying that, I got the Bengals winning this. Now, I will say this. If you're betting on this game, the Ravens are probably favored. I haven't looked at it, but they're going to probably be like a 4 or 5 point favorite with this one. Pick the Bengals plus whatever number that is. I wouldn't pick them in a money line, but this could be a close game. And I got the Bengals winning this one. They need it. They need this one, and they're a better team than what the record says. They'll put pretty much every team at like 2 and 3, or in that ballpark, except for the Browns. So, Bengals win this one. Get right back into the race.
Yeah, you kind of read my mind with this one, man. I thought I was taking the Bengals too as well, because I think that they're a better team than the 0-3 start that they had, especially with they're having their quarterback back healthy. The Ravens, they're like a team. I don't know, man. So one week they're playing like a contender. The other week they're losing games that they should win. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think this is gonna be a good game. It's obviously a divisional game. You already know, like, divisional games are like always gonna be tough games to even pick, just because any team can win at that point. Like just like when we play against the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs, there's always gonna be tough games for the Raiders. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well.
It's a trifecta, man. I'm going with the Bengals also. Don't let their record deceive you. They were beat by the Chiefs. That was a last-second field goal. Patrick Mahomes I think like they had a sack fumble that the Chiefs scored on, and then I think it was consecutive punts, and then Patrick Mahomes went down there, did his magic, and he got them a field goal, and they had ended up getting a 1 point lead. And then even with the Commanders, right? That was Jaden Daniels, like Jaden Daniels playing. Yeah, so I that was a close win as well. I want to say the Carolina had that game until Jaden Daniels did what Jaden Daniels been doing since he was at LSU. So and then they finally scratched last week, against the Panthers, a Panthers team that was kind of coming off of a high. You would think they'd be feeling good after that win against the Raiders, looking to build some momentum, and Joe Burrow kind of got into a stride. We saw how the Ravens struggled, guarding Davante, and they struggled guarding Brock Bowers as well. Bengals don't have quite the tight end as Brock Bowers, but I like Mike Gesicki as a tight end. They also got two stud receivers. T. Higgins is back, and Jamar Chase is out there. So we were going after Marlon Humphrey every chance we got. So now it's like pick your poison. You got T. Higgins or Jamar Chase out there.
Yeah, man. So we went Bengals all the way across. Dolphins, Patriots, Mike.
Man, this might be a battle for last place, and I think the Dolphins are reeling. We heard some rumors that Tyreek Hill might want to get traded. These receivers. I'm not gonna anyway. These receivers in this league, man. Anyway, but
the divas.
They're divas, and that's the bottom line. But I will say that this is going to be a closer game than what people think. I got the Dolphins squeaking this one out, but the Patriots are going to make this competitive. I got Dolphins.
Oh man, this is tough, man. If it was before the season, even when Tua was healthy, I would have picked the Dolphins. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Huntley is going to be back this game, or he's going to be starting this game. So we'll see how that looks like. Mike McDaniels, obviously, he's an offensive-minded coach. He's one of the best play callers out there. Like, he's going to have some cooking, especially against another divisional game. A lot of divisional games this week. So we got, man, it's going to be tough, man. Oh, man. I'm going to go to Patriots. Patriots.
Okay.
I'm going to go Patriots.
I can see that too, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like a weird game, and I think Patriots, they just know they'll win a weird game for some reason.
Yeah.
But, Xavier, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Patriots as well. I think that they are a pretty good defensive team, and even though the Dolphins have a plethora of weapons, they don't have the guy that really can get the ball to any of those weapons, right? I don't trust. I mean, Skylar Thompson struggled, and then Tyler Huntley struggled as well. It doesn't seem like Mike McDaniel was really able to adapt his offense to the new quarterback. He was trying to do some of the same things with those guys that Tua was doing, and I don't think he was really playing to their strengths. Maybe with another week of practice, he's able to make those adjustments. But right now, I just trust the Patriots more. Jacoby Brissett is a steady veteran. Even though they don't have a lot of weapons on the outside, I do like Jalen Polk. Ramondre Stevenson is a pretty good running back. So, and it's in New England. I'm gonna go with the Patriots to win at home in a close, ugly game.
Yeah, and they lost. I think Dolphins lost Jalen Phillips from. I think they're one of their best pass rushers for the entire season. I think he's out for the season, so they're dealing with injuries on defense too. So, but yeah, moving along. Let's go. Browns, Commanders. Who we got?
Do you guys really believe that the Commanders are going to be a 4-1 team if they win this one? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, Jaden Daniels been looking great. We've been saying he's an MVP candidate right now, early on, right?
Right.
The Browns need this win, man. I got the Browns in an upset. A defense like the Browns versus a rookie quarterback. The rookie quarterback doesn't usually win that. I think that Jaden Daniels kind of goes back down to earth in a sense a little bit, and the Browns do just enough to win this game. I got the Browns squeaking one by the Commanders.
Hey, man, I'm going with Jaden Daniels here. He's the best quarterback in this matchup. It's pretty much done. It's just a matter of time when they try to. It's going to go down as probably one of the worst trades in history, because the fact that they gave up all that to get Watson, and he's just not a good player right now. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's something that he could overcome or get back to where he usually was. But I don't think the Browns, from what we've seen, man, and I know the Raiders just played them, they beat them. They don't look like a good team right now.
They don't.
Nick Chubb is like literally their best hope. They're a better team when they can run the football, and Nick Chubb is a guy that, takes them to a whole different level. And they asked him when he's going to come back. I think he's been cleared to come back, but he doesn't know when he's going to be coming back. So I'm going with the Commanders.
So I would say this: Deshaun Watson, even though he lost, I think he's coming off his best game. And I think he actually played well. I think he played well. I think you take out that holding penalty, and you take out that incredibly bad drop by Amari Cooper, and we're looking at Deshaun Watson a little bit different in that game. I don't know if Nick Chubb is going to be back for this game. I think he's activated, but I don't know if he's going to be back. But they do have weapons on the outside. But that being said, I'm going Jane Daniels and Washington Commanders. It's going to be a shootout, man. A shootout. Like, the only team that Washington has held under 30, I think, is the Giants. I think every other team has scored more than 30. So, it's going to be a shootout. But the Commanders have been winning all these shootouts thus far. I think they have the better quarterback in this matchup, surprisingly. Wouldn't have been saying that, 3 years ago or 3 or 4 years ago. So, Jay Daniels is on a hot streak. I think he's too young to be intimidated right now. He's out there balling. So I think he's going to take that momentum, and I think they're going to beat the Cleveland Browns.
I will say, though, Jaden Daniels still hasn't figured out how to slide and stay away from these big hits. And the Browns, from what we've seen, they got some hitters over there. Like they are not. They're a physical football team. So there's that. But yeah, man, the Browns got so many issues. Even at wide receiver, everybody talks about the receivers, but they lead the league in drops. They got two receivers that can't catch. Like they're talented, but they can't catch anything, and they're paid. So it is what it is, man. But let's move it along to the Colts and Jaguars.
Jaguars get one on the board. They're long overdue for a win, man. I got them beating the Colts right here.
Oh, this is a tough one. I don't think Richardson plays this week. I think Flacco is the starting quarterback, and Flacco, man, he's having a career resurgence as a backup quarterback, and every time he gets inserted into the starting lineup, he's playing well. And I think the Colts look like a different team when he played last week, which is kind of low-key putting a little bit of a quarterback controversy if he continues to play well. And they won that game because of Flacco.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Colts, man. The Jaguars, they look like the Jaguars of old, man. Like they don't look like it's crazy. Lawrence, he got paid, and he looks like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Mailed it in. I don't know what it is, what's going on over there. I don't know if it's the offense. I don't know. I'm not fully tapped in with what's going on exactly with the Jaguars, but if you're a fan of that team, man, they're going through it. But I'm going Colts.
It depends. If Anthony Richardson starts, I'm going Jaguars. But if Joe Flacco starts, I hate to say it, bro. I hate to say it. If Joe Flacco starts, I'm going with, and I'm assuming Joe Flacco is going to start. So I'm gonna go with the Colts. Joe Flacco, he's on that Ryan Fitzpatrick run. That Ryan Fitzpatrick would come in and he would go crazy and throw for 350, 400 yards, and he's on that Fitzmagic stuff. And I think the Colts have some weapons. They got Pittman, they got Downs, they got Mo Alley Cox, they got Taylor. So I think with the vet like Flacco leading the way, I think they get it done. And it's a shame because if the Jaguars lose, man, like Doug Peterson, like he might have to walk home. So even if they're at home, he might have to. He might have to walk home. So I think the Jaguars. It was a nice story in the beginning of last year, but they're kind of continuing the trend of poor play that they finished last year with to start this year. So I don't know if they'll be able to turn it around this week.
Yeah, man. So and Severe, by the way, you picked the Commanders before this game, right?
Yep.
All right. And you picked the Colts this game?
Yeah, I'm picking the Colts. Yeah,
picking the Colts.
Picking the Colts.
Anthony Richardson, man. I was big on him coming out, but if it doesn't work out with the Colts, man, he's done. He is done. Now we got the Bills and Texans. This is man. Low key, some of these games could go either way, and this is another one. This is another one. Yeah. But this one might be the game of the week. Bills versus Texans.
I was about to say that. Yeah, this is a heavyweight matchup right here. This is a playoff caliber matchup, divisional round type of matchup. Right. The Bills need to rebound from last week. They laid an egg on Monday. They look bad. Yeah. And the Texans, I don't know if are they elite? Are they an elite team? Like, I don't know. We know offensively they can get the job done. Defensively, they're pretty good too. But we haven't seen them against a top-notch team yet. So I got the Bills winning this one. It's gonna be close though. It's gonna be close. Josh Allen's gonna get him down the field and get the job done.
You know what I don't like about this setup right here? It don't tell you who the home team is.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah,
because this is a close. It could go either way. I can see either team winning. The Bills have played well this year. I think Josh Allen has adjusted to not playing without his former number one receiver. A lot of people are looking into that.
All the teams on the right are the home team.
Home games? No. Because look at the Raiders. Yeah, I think the Raiders are. Oh, okay. The right is the home.
The Raiders
team.
are. The Raiders.
You know what? Teams. Hey, man, Texans at home. I'm taking Texans at home, man. Taking Texans at home.
Okay.
So you said you got the Bills, Mike?
I'll stick. I don't have too much conviction on that one. I'm not really confident, but I'm gonna stick with the Bills. I said Bills.
I can see the Bills winning though. I can see the Bills winning.
Yeah.
It's just I'm just going with the home team. What you got, Severe?
Man, we all know Coleridge is my guy. Coleridge Jr., aka CJ Stroud. That's my guy. But the Texans really haven't looked great this year, to be honest with you. And the one time they played a good team, they got curb stomped by the Vikings. The Bills are coming off of a horrible defeat. I'm sure they're going to get right. This is going to be the first matchup between the Bills and Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs talked a lot of trash about essentially him making Josh Allen the player he was. You look at the timeline; it does kind of match up his success with Stephon Diggs' arrival. The Texans at home, I'm gonna go with the Texans, man. Derek Stingley has been one of the best corners in the league. I think CJ Stroud is gonna get it together. Nico Collins has been like destroying stuff. So I'm gonna go with the Texans, man. But yeah, there's not a lot of conviction in that pick for me either.
I mean, they're both coming off losses. So Bills coming off a loss, and I think Texans lost last week. I believe, right? So
they come. I think they won. I think they won last week. Their one loss was the Vikings. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, they won. They beat some. I think they squeaked past the Jaguars. I want to say.
Yeah, they squeaked past the Jaguars last minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
They've been beating some bad teams, barely beating some bad teams at that. So it's I don't know.
Oh, here's a game where we're not familiar with the teams that are playing right here. We got the Raiders and the Donkeys. Mike, who you got?
Well, we said it before, man. Got to get the run game going. It's about to be a real physical game. There's going to be people are going to get punched in the mouth. This is in the mud, heavy. I wouldn't even say a heavyweight matchup because they're not heavyweights yet. But this is two bruising teams that want to make their mark with defense, and I think the Raiders win this game, 16-13, low score game.
All right, and Severe Texans was your pick for the last game?
Yeah.
All right. And you said the Raiders.
Yep, 16-13.
Okay, 16-13, man. Put that on here, man. 16-13. All right. I'm gonna go. Yeah, obviously I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Raiders on a winning streak against the Broncos, but we can't rely on that. This game, it's going to be a whole lot of distractions. We talked about keys to the game. Defense has to lead the way. Patrick Graham, he has a special matchup for him this week. This is where he goes in there and he confuses the hell out of Bo Nix. Maybe we get some big turnovers, maybe a defensive touchdown. Who knows? But I am going to go 23-10 Raiders.
Ooh, all right.
And this is before we say anything severe, this is a big game for AP.
Yes.
That's another thing we didn't talk about. This is a big game for AP, and I know there's distractions, but more so like, does he still have this? Like, a lot of people are questioning, has he lost the team? A lot of people are like, the haters and the whispers, like, has Lombardi basically is implying, oh, AP has lost the team. He's the star players. You see how they're reacting and da-da-da-da. So this is a big game for AP, man. I want to see how the Raiders come out this game, but I got the Raiders. But Severe, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Much like exactly like you and Mike. I have the Raiders winning this game. I think people inside the building, the coaching staff. I think it's probably some of the personnel people. I'm sure some of the players on the team. I think they were kind of over the Davante thing. I think he's basically had become ostracized. I'm sure he still has some close relationships on the team, but the majority of people seem like they were kind of done with that song and dance. And I think the fact that he basically quit on the team, saying that you're not good enough, I think that's going to be a rallying cry, and I think that AP is going to lead that charge. I think the guys are going to be amped up, ready to play, and I think we play our best game of the year against the Broncos, who are, in my opinion, a very similar team in terms of their strengths to a team that we just beat in the Browns. So I think we come out there and we win. I'm gonna go 24-13.
24-13. All right. We got the Cardinals and 49ers, man. A lot of divisional games this week. This is the division week.
Yep.
Cardinals and 49ers. Mike, who you got?
Yeah, division games, you never know what you're going to get. But this one, 49ers coming and whoop some ass, man. I got 49ers beating the Cardinals. Double-digit win right here.
Got you. Hate picking the Niners, but and the Cardinals division game, the Cardinals, they be playing the 49ers tough. And
they do.
They play them tough. So this could easily be, if someone were to pick an upset, I could see this happening. Got Kyler Murray running around over there. I know they're not the best of teams right now, but I'm picking the Niners at home. I'm taking the Niners.
Yeah.
Severe. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, man.
You got the Cardinals?
Cardinals, man. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
That's the spirit.
I'm going with the Cardinals, man. I just think that it seems that Kyler and Marvin Harrison are starting to get on the same page.
Yeah.
Kyler's been playing good. Kyler's been playing some pretty good football. I like their head coach. I like Trey McBride. I think they have what it takes to put up a good point. I think Debo's down. McCaffrey is not there. Ayuk really hasn't really stepped up in Debo's absence. So I'm gonna pick the upset here, man. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
All right. Ain't mad at you. We got Green Bay and the Rams. Mike, who you got?
Oh, man. The Rams, they're too depleted right now. They're down both their receivers, Nakua and
But I gotta give Rams some credit though, man. They I don't know, man.
They play really teams tough though.
Yeah, they're coached up, man. They're coached up, man.
Yeah, they're coached up. But I think it's gonna be too much. The Packers came off a heartbreaking loss at home, so they got a lot to prove. This might be a rebound game for them. I got the Packers winning this one.
Packers. I got Packers too, man. Better team. But quarterback. Man, they're beat up too.
Yeah.
Rams is beat up. Man,
yeah.
It's tough game. But go ahead. It's hard to beat.
The Rams. The Rams are beat up. The Packers are 2-2 on the season. Both of those wins coming with Malik Willis at the helm.
It's crazy.
So Jordan Love has yet to win a game this season. I think that, man, I want to.
Yeah,
the Rams usually beat the Packers, man. The Rams usually beat the Packers, man. They don't have Kupp, they don't have Nakua, but Kyron Williams is having a hell of a season, man.
Yeah.
He's nice, bro. He's a nice running back.
Kyron Williams having a hell of a season, man. You know what? I'm gonna say Sean McVay has something special for these dudes, and I'm gonna pick the Rams to win it.
Okay, man.
And I pick Josh Jacobs to have a horrible game.
yeah. Negative yards. Negative 15 yards.
Severe is the president of the Josh Jacobs Hate Club, if y'all don't know. We got the Giants and the Seattle Seahawks this week. Who you got, Mike?
This is going to be a closer game than what people think, but I still got the Seahawks winning the game. Seahawks always play close games for whatever reason, especially at home. They always make it interesting at their own house. So, but I got the Seahawks winning this one. Close game, but they'll win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks as well, man. Giants coming from the other side of the coast. East Coast teams have issues going to the West Coast too as well, just like the West Coast has issues going East Coast and winning games.
Yep.
I'm taking the Seahawks, and it's tough. That's a stadium that I want to check out, bro. Like I want to go to a Seahawks game. Hopefully the Raiders, when they play them, it's going to be in their stadium because I actually want to check it out. I've heard a lot of good things. It's a really tough stadium for teams to play in. It gets super loud, so I want to definitely experience that. But I got the Seahawks.
The 12th man is real. The 12th man is real. It's got to go with the Seahawks, man. Malik Neighbors, he's very, very early in his rookie season. He's already established himself as one of the best receivers in the league. The statistics say that. The advanced statistics say that. I think when Daniel Jones throws to Malik Neighbors, he has like a 93 QBR. When he throws to anybody else, it's like a 20. So, it's like Malik Neighbors is destroying he's putting the whole league on notice. I know a lot of people had him as his their wide receiver one, even over Marvin Harrison Jr., who some people had as the consensus best player in his last draft. But the Seahawks, they were on a 3-game winning streak until they went up against the buzzsaw in the Detroit Lions. And it took, Jared Goff had a perfect game. Jahmyr Gibbs had a big game in that game as well. Seahawks are a good team. They're well coached. Good defense as well. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
All right. Got you down for the Seahawks. We got the Cowboys and Steelers. Who you got?
I got the Cowboys winning this one. That's the Steelers, good defense, not doing much on offense. I think that's going to come back to haunt them in this game. Cowboys, they need to get it figured out on offense right now, which they haven't all season for the most part. But I think this is the game where they actually do. Cowboys win this one in a close one.
Yeah, Cowboys kind of been of a disappointed team this season. Steelers, on the other hand, have relied on Old Faithful, playing good defense, running the football. Justin Fields is doing what's being asked of him, and he's winning games, man. He's doing his thing. So I'm taking home team Pittsburgh.
It's tough. It's tough because Pittsburgh, they were 3-0. They lost last week to Joe Flacco. So, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, man. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think all the Steelers have beat. I think they beat Justin Herbert. I don't think he finished that game. Taylor Heineke finished that game. They came out. They let Joe Flacco beat him. I think Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. They've been having a great connection this year. I think that's gonna pull them through. I don't think Justin Fields has really done a lot. Yeah, I think he had his best game this previous game, and they still lost. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
All right. Saints and Chiefs. Monday night football game. It's gonna be at Arrowhead. Mike, who you got?
The Saints win by 85 points. I can't pick the Chiefs in good faith, man. I'm just sorry, I can't. I don't like the Chiefs. But, they also haven't been looking good. They're 4-0. Their record is misleading. They haven't been looking great this whole season. They've been bailed out in 3 of their 4 games by the refs. I got the Saints in an upset right here. I got the Saints.
It's tough because Derek Carr in Arrowhead, he struggled for most of his career.
Man.
But then the Saints defensively are really tough. I think they could, especially with, Chiefs dealing with injuries at wide receiver. Man, it's Patrick Mahomes, Monday night football game. But I think the Saints have done a good job of catering to Derek Carr's strength, throwing it deep. Rashid, obviously Chris Olave, Clint Kubiak has cooled down ever since the start of the season. But you know what? Hey, man, I hate the Chiefs too. I'm going with the Saints.
Alvin Kamara's had a career resurgence, a little mini resurgence too. So
yeah,
he could be a problem out of the backfield. He can definitely be a problem. So Big game from Kamara. Carr does what Carr does. Not make too many mistakes. Not a huge statistical game, but does just enough. And the defense carries them the rest of the way. I'm telling you, the Saints, man. I got the Saints winning this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I mean, and
the guy with the red hat on.
And Patrick Mahomes really hasn't been playing that great this year. Patrick Mahomes really hasn't been playing great this year. It's not so much that I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm just picking against Derek Carr in Arrowhead in cold weather. Like this dude folds up quick as I don't know what. As soon as the temperature drops below like 60 degrees, Derek Carr it's a wrap for Derek Carr. So and I just think that the Andy Reid is just a much better coach than Dennis Allen. Steve Spagnuolo is just a much better coach than Clint Kubiak. And even though he's not having his best year, Patrick Mahomes is an infinitely better quarterback than Derek Carr. I don't care what weapons he got out there. He can line me up at wide receiver and probably still beat Derek Carr. So, I hate to pick the Chiefs, but I just don't trust Derek Carr in cold weather games or games at Arrowhead.
I hear you, man. We kind of set our bias to begin with it, so we just like we hate the Chiefs. We're picking the Saints. But yeah, when it gets close, man, you just look at the quarterback and you just look at who's the home team. When it's close, look at the home team
and the coach,
whatever outweighs whatever. Huh? Go ahead.
And the coach as well.
Yeah, the coach too. Yeah, you made a good point, man.
You got to also take in consideration the most important thing of this game. The Chiefs have the advantage with the refs too.
Man, you already know.
In a close game, count on them black and whites to put on their red. So
you already know what time it is,
Chief, you never know, man. You never know.
I mean, if I think about it,
just saying. I'm
just looking at some of the games that I picked. I think this would probably be the biggest upset for me. Is the Saints? I think severe. I think for you is probably the Cardinals against the 49ers.
Yeah.
And Mike, I think you picked the upset game.
I picked a few, man. I got the Browns winning.
I think Mike got a few upset games.
Yeah, you got a few. I'm just looking at like you picked the Bills, the Browns. I think those are the main ones. Those are like the biggest upsets.
Mikey either gonna be way ahead or he'll dig himself a hell of a hole.
Yeah, it might be the hole, man.
This is the first week of we've been wanting to do this. We said this before the season. We're gonna do this, but we just haven't. We literally forgot about. I literally forgot. I was like, oh man, I can't believe we forgot about picking the games each week. So this is week one for us. We'll see who comes out on top as far as record wise, the win-loss record. But we appreciate everybody coming through, man. It's been a great show, a long show, man. It's a little longer than I expected, man. But we
a lot to talk about, man.
A lot to talk about. But we appreciate everybody coming through. It's been a great show, like I said. And make sure to hit that like button, man. Clock in, like the thumbs, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Severe, man, let the people know where they can find you and what to look forward to, man.
Man, you already know what it is. The Severe Raider YouTube, the Severe Raider IG, the Severe Raider Snapchat, TikTok, X, Twitter, all of that good stuff. Friday nights around the Shield, man. Hit us up on IG as well. Around the Shield, with the one instead of the I and Shield.
The L. The L.
Yeah. Oh, DL. What?
So the instead of the
the one is the L. Yeah, the one is the L. I'm tripping. Yeah, the one is the L.
Yeah.
So around the Shield with the one instead of the L. Make sure y'all follow us there. We've been putting out some heat, some funny stuff, some interesting videos, man. So we're gonna keep cooking up over there. You already know, man. The 50-50 show. Holla at your boys every Tuesday night, man. The 50-50 show.
Y'all got some merch now.
Man, I was just about to say, man, the 50-50 shop.
Congratulations, man. Go check it out.
My guy Pharaoh's rocking the shirt right now, man. The 50-50. We got some mugs, we got some sweaters, we got the stuff for the ladies,
Yeah.
So, You know, tis the season is coming up, man. What better way to show your girl how much you love her than getting her a 50-50 shirt? I'm just saying.
There you go, man. There you go, man. Hey, man. Yeah, there you go, man. Hey, Mike, man, let the people know where they can find you, all that good stuff, and what to look forward to.
Yeah, man.
Fire show, by the way, yesterday.
With Elite? Man, that was fire, bro.
Yeah.
That was a fire show with you and Elite, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm here to announce, hey, that's going to be a Wednesday thing. Me and Elite, the Big Elite podcast, every Wednesday. We're going to be doing that on Wednesdays. I'm going to be doing some solo stuff on Mondays. I'm talking to Hug D's, too. He might be popping up on Monday, too. So trying to give back to the nation and stuff. Film breakdowns. You can find me crashing out on X. IG on the Shield. Follow us on IG with the 1 for the L,
and on X too, and on X too. Go check us all out, and then of course Around the Shield every Friday. That's where you can find us. So yeah, a lot to look forward to, man. Stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. Like the fellow said, man, we do this every Fridays. We drop an episode. Sometimes we go live, so just tune in. You want to make sure you hit that notification bell and pay attention to community tabs and follow us all over social media. As you see, pretty much our names on the screen are ways to follow us on social media. But most importantly, we started a page called Around the Shield, man, where you can see podcast clips, updates, latest news regarding the Raiders on X and on IG. Shout out to Xavier, man. He had a funny clip the other day with Davante Adams and Maury Povich. If you know, you know, man. Definitely check it out. But it was hilarious. But yeah, man, you can find us everywhere on social media. And then also we do 50-50 show. Just like my guy Xavier said, every Tuesdays evenings. That's a live show. And just, hey, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also leave a comment. Let us know, man, how y'all feel about some of the stuff that we said. I know y'all didn't agree with everything we said, or if you want to add more to what we had said, did we leave anything out? Just make sure to leave a comment. We definitely read them. We appreciate the support. And
I respond to all of them.
Yep,
exactly. I respond to everything. So come on, man.
There you go, man. Mike is letting you know right now. And like Mike pointed out, and Severe, man, the 50-50 shop is open. So the link will be in the description. I will pin it in the chat too as well. I believe Severe as well will pin it. So just it'll be all there in the chat as well as the description. So you can click on it. 50-50 shop. Get your latest gear, man. Hey, we appreciate the support, man. And any last things before we head out, man? I know it's been a long show. So
yeah, man. But hey, before we dip out, man, look, sharing is caring. All right. So I'm challenging all y'all, everybody in this chat, everybody that's watching this right now. I'm sure you guys are Raider fans. And if you're not a Raider fan, if you know 3 people that are football fans and you like what you heard today and you think somebody else would enjoy it as well, I'm challenging everybody right now that's listening to us to send it to 3 people. Share with those 3 people, whether that be on Twitter, whether that be via text message, whether that be on Facebook, wherever you guys do your social media at. I challenge you all to share it with 3 people if you enjoy what y'all saw today.
Facts, no doubt, man. Hey, man, on that note, man, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming through. We'll be back here next week. Raiders are going to get this W this week, man.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.